Script started. Dependencies loaded. Booting Series 13 of the Year of Shame Challenge. Please wait.
Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of Season 13 of the Year of Shame. I believe it's episode 6. Welcome, as always, I have Brian. How you doing?
Hello, good morning, or good afternoon. No, good afternoon. It's good evening here. How are things? I'm good. I'm hot and sweaty, but I'm good.
I think, hot and sweaty is the order of the day here, isn't it, really, to be honest with you? Oh, how are you doing?
Yeah, all good, thank you very much. It's the same over here. It's a nice sunny day. Lovely, nice sunny Sunday.
Lovely. Sorry to wake you up early, but time differences and things like that. I don't want Brian being up until midnight as well. It's not already midnight, and I've mislaid the time, is it?
It's 7 p.m. here now. Yeah,
okay,
7 p.m. It's dark.
But still 30 degrees.
It's 30. Yeah, the aircon is just turned on. Thank God.
Oh, awesome stuff.
It's hot and humid.
Yeah. Right, so we are mid-year. We've gone past that midway point, which I feel we should be proud of in the first place, to be honest. It's a big thing to try and do this year. It's kind of flown by, to be honest, to a degree. I think enjoyed talking with you guys, not to get too soppy, and I've enjoyed playing games that I haven't gone back to in a long time. So it's been beneficial and good so far. So it's one of those things you look at it and suddenly realise you're in August, and it's oh wow, okay, that's been okay so far.
Totally agree.
What's been happening this month for everybody? Been up to anything interesting? Anything going on? Brian, do you want to start us off on that?
Okay. Since we last did this, summer has really kicked in. The cicadas here are out in force. I love them. They're ugly, but they make an awesome sound. And they vary depending on the area you're in. So if I go from where we live and go like 100 meters to the local park, there's different cicadas there. They all sound totally different. You get ones in the morning, afternoon, late in the evening. They all keep changing, but it's just constant noise from like 4 or 5 a.m. till 7 or 8, even 9 p.m. It's just constant noise going. Oh, it's really weird. But I'm here 3 years, it still feels exotic and weird to me. But the summer break has also kicked in for school. Yay, we have 5 weeks off. So when school closes, they have a closing ceremony, in which all the pupils are brought into the gym, and I have no idea what goes on. The principal stands at the top of the gym and gives a big long speech to the kids, telling to be good, probably, or over the summer break, and it just goes on for ages. They talk all in Japanese. I'm just standing there, no idea what's going on. In this one of the teachers came up and he started playing videos of him playing the guitar to Bohemian Rhapsody. I have no idea what that was done for, but they just played Bohemian Rhapsody, or him. He did like a video he put up on YouTube of him playing Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know what was going on, but that was apparently informative for the children. I just stood at the back of the hall, shaking my head and nodding along, as though I was agreeing with everything that was being said. After school or that finished, I had to run a summer camp for 3rd and 4th graders for one day, and it was from the city. I live in one city and I work in a different city, so it was the 3rd and 4th graders from that other city, and it was just like organized chaos. We had them all playing games. Everything was done in English, so to try and get them to speak more English. If you get kids excited enough into a game, they will speak whatever language you want to give them, and they just absorb it and play it. And they don't even think about what they're learning, so it works really well. The temperature here, as I've said before, is hot. Mind-blowingly hot. It's in high 30s, so we're talking 37, 38, into the low 40s for the past 3 weeks. It's really fucking humid. Like, it's so humid, your sweat doesn't dry off, so your sweat is on you all day long, and you don't cool down because the sweat doesn't evaporate. It's just fucking disgusting. So I've been sitting locked inside. Most of the time I've been sitting for the past couple of weeks. I've been sitting inside under an aircon. I'm still hot, but we have the aircon set at 27. The big problem is if you go from 27 out into 40, the temperature difference is huge, and your body starts to get really freaked out with it. And heat stroke becomes very common. We can't drop the temperature any lower, or the risk becomes that much higher. Also, Japan. This is summer in Japan. Japan, because the weather wasn't traditionally this hot, it has loads of festivals. And one of the type of festivals it has is a fireworks festival. The biggest one is on the river, the Sumida River in Tokyo. This year, 900,000 people turned up to watch it. And they're all queuing. Loads of them start queuing the day before just to get a patch of ground that they can sit on and watch this show for free. It's really hot, sweaty, and sticky, but they queue for hours. How many people? Sorry, but 900,000, so just under 1 million. Jeez. They're just on. They pile along the side of the river or in any open space near the river. So the police have to block off traffic about 3 hours before the show, and then people just take over the streets and sit down. They bring along tarpaulin and sit down on this. So you'll see them walking along with blue sheets and putting it down and sit down. It's really weird, but it is well organised. Just the big problem is trying to get a taxi try to get a tube afterwards to go home, because everybody's going for the same train stations to get home. It's absolutely horrible. The queues take ages.
And you've got some crazy infrastructure there as well that's built to deal with masses of people. And I imagine if that gets overwhelmed, that must be insane.
Oh yeah, like they're really organised and ordered people. But you have when you're going into the train station, they have you have your barriers down the middle, so for people going down and people coming up. This is at 10:30 at night, and everybody's leaving. There's nobody coming out of the train station, but everybody just stands in the queue going down, and they don't use the other side of the stairway going down into it. So they all stand on the right hand side going down, and the other side of the stairs is empty for people coming out, and nobody will cross. They just stand there, and it's really ordered. So nobody will dare cross down the other side. Whereas if that was England or Ireland, everybody just be a big mash to rush down the stairs. But it is different. But because of that, 2 years ago, we decided we'd book into a restaurant beside the river. And after you had your meal, you could go into the car park at the back of the restaurant, the staff car park. Uh-huh. And they had old chairs out there for us to sit in, and you were right underneath the fireworks. So you were so close to the fireworks, they were falling, after they explode, they were falling down on your head. So they gave you protection to put on your head. you had fireworks, the actual remains of the fireworks hitting you on top of the head. And the problem for me was they had loads of the fumes from the explosives were covering the area, and I ended up with my asthma kicking off. 2 or 3 days later, my asthma kicked off, and I ended up at the hospital trying to get meds for my asthma. But so last year we decided we won't do that. We'd go on a boat. Went out on a boat. You can sit in a boat in the middle of the river and watch the fireworks. They give you food and as much drink as you want. So we got on the food, had loads of beers, and then there was a big, massive thunder and lightning storm, and they had to cancel the whole thing. And all the people from the side of the river had to be evacuated before the lightning hit, and our show was cancelled, so we got the boat back, which was a shame because the lightning was actually quite spectacular that night. But so we missed out the fireworks. Then this year we went again, and finally we got to see the fireworks. Did another boat again with a free bar, but it was really stunning. The way they do the fireworks on the river, they have 2 bridges when the fireworks are going off from either there, and each point where they're doing the fireworks is in competition. So there's like a competition between two companies doing the fireworks.
It's like dueling between the 2 bridges.
Exactly, yeah. That's and they're trying to become more and more impressive ones, and they do. I don't know, they do big, massive smiley faces that come up at the fireworks. There's like a big circle and the eye and the mouth. But they were doing. They did one with like a Pikachu shape. Pikachu shapes his face shape, and I don't know how they do the new shapes and fireworks, but it was really cool. It went on for about 2 hours. The fireworks are free if you want to go along to them, and even the council doesn't pay for them. The firework companies compete to be the company to do the fireworks. But I don't know, it's really weird, but
Oh, right.
it's really cool.
So it's just a stage for them to just show off what they make, effectively. Wow, okay.
So
And they always go on about how much it costs for these things in like London at New Year and stuff.
Yeah,
and that's always kind of, it costs this much money and this much tax, and it's like these guys are doing it for free. It's ridiculous.
It doesn't cost the council any money other than trying to deal with all the people and all the extra. They put police and the first aid people on, but other than that, it doesn't cost them any money. So it's quite cool. What else do we do? I was thinking, my cousin's about to come over in the end of August, and we've been discussing trying to what we can do. He's coming for about, I think it's 5-6 days he's going to stay in Tokyo. But the heat is so extreme that it'll more or less be, we can do one thing per day. So even if it's in the same area, we can't, it's just too hot, because if you got to walk from the train station to the temple, you've got maybe a 20-minute walk under 42 degree heat, and the sun is blasting down. And like, you can use the sun parasols or sun umbrellas. They have loads of them over here, and it'll drop the temperature by a couple of degrees, but you're going to be so dehydrated at the end of it, you can't go do anything else afterwards. So you just go back to a cafe or to a bar or whatever. So if anybody is thinking of ever coming over here, don't come in summer. It's really awkward. Summer it's too hot to do anything. Most of the Japanese people don't bother going out. It's crazy. The other time, if you're going to come over here, avoid Golden Week, which is the very end of April and start of May. That's 1 week where there's, I think it's 5 bank holidays over 10 days, and all of Japan goes on holiday and goes to all the tourist things. So if you do come over during that week, you're not going to get into anything. It's too busy. But avoid summer. Avoid summer. It's too crazy. And the other thing, Paul, last month you mentioned your rum, the ice cream. Your rum ice cream? Yeah.
Yes, rum and raisin ice cream.
We had yesterday red wine ice cream.
Oh,
and
lovely.
It was bloody good. It was really weird, but really, really good. So I would recommend trying to do it. I don't know what one it was.
That a try.
Yeah, it was really good, I have to admit.
Was it maybe like mulled? Was it like a mulled wine type? Because mulled wine's kind of sweet and fruity, isn't it? You know, like
that
sounds
good as well. It was it was Cabernet. They said Cabernet Sauvignon, because they sell wine in this place as well. They have barrels of wine on the side, and you can sample them. So I need to go back to try the wine out. But this was really good. I was really impressed with the ice cream. That's
fantastic. That sounds good.
Other than that, then I've been
one of that day on that next month.
Yeah. Other than that, I've been sat under an aircon, hiding from the heat, watching TV shows and playing games. So that's all. So, Paul, what have you been up to?
Yeah, a little bit of all kinds of sort of little bits and pieces. Been going to the gym and such like, which I've been really enjoying. Because it's a more expensive gym than what I used to go to. Any idea of not going to the gym this week quickly evaporates when I realise how much I'm paying for the gym. So I very quickly pack my bag and I go, and I make sure I get my money's worth for this week at the very least. We booked a holiday. We're going to go away in September. We haven't been on holiday for about 3 years or so. So it's like our first big one since COVID, I guess, really. And oh no, was it after COVID we lost weight? I can't remember. But anyway, booked a place. We have been there once before, about 6 years ago. Normally, it's a mega process for me looking for a holiday, because generally you want to go somewhere you haven't been before. And I read all the reviews, go all the way through TripAdvisor, figure out what the good bits, the bad bits. And there's usually something good and something a little bit bad about every place you're going to visit. And the last time we went to this place, the Wi-Fi was meant to be the shortfall. And we actually, through reading through all the different things on TripAdvisor, that the best thing to do was to get a room near the reception if you want to get Wi-Fi, because that's the only place you could get the Wi-Fi was like in the reception area. So anyway, we did that and it was perfectly fine. So yeah, we're going to go back again. It's a really, really nice place. It's adults only. It's all inclusive. It's in Egypt. The food's really, really, really good. Yeah, it's really good. The food's really good. It's all you can eat, all inclusive, and it's got a la carte restaurants as well. So we've got an Indian restaurant there, like and various other sort of. They've got a Japanese one, but that's extra. Obviously, when you go for the Japanese abroad, it's always where they put the chef puts a bit of a show on, where he's flipping the egg and throwing it down and cooking it. It's like a clown show, really. By the time he finishes messing about and playing tricks on people and such like. So yeah, so we're looking forward to that. We're going to go for 2 weeks, so we're desperately in need of a holiday, and I normally monitor the prices for quite some time. Normally, I'll leave it till like 1 month before we're going to go away, but I'm just so mentally tired. I thought, just get it booked, which is so unusual for me. So I am still going to look at the prices in a couple of weeks' time to see if I have overpaid or not. So, but I reckon, if anything, it'll
Don't
come
do
down
that.
by a couple of... I can't resist. That's the problem. It's all about the money for me, unfortunately. I can't resist. I've got to see how much... If it goes up in price, I'll be over the moon. But if it goes down in price, I'm going to be a bit like, whatever. So, but yeah, it's a much needed holiday. So yeah, looking forward to that. But other than that, not really been doing a lot else. Just the usual stuff. What have you been up to, Ben?
It's been a busy month. As much to not be boring, it's kind of work is in the middle of our big show season. So Boss, other members of the team are all disappearing every 5 seconds to Copenhagen. They've been to Reno. They're currently out in Bilbao, I think it is, and stuff like that. So I'm doing all the work in the background for that, the advertising, product stuff. So it's been a really busy month, to be honest with you. Like, previous job, it was all very much different stages of the year. So that towards the end of it would be busier in retail versus what it is now. And so it's a bit of a change, but it's my first summer in it, I suppose, really. So that's been taking up a lot of time. The kids are off because it's summer holidays, as you said, Brian. So that's been the other big thing. So they've been at home and sort of doing stuff with him. It was my birthday at the end of July. So we kind of spent some time as a family and did some bits. If anyone lives far enough down the country, the History of Computing Museum in Swindon is amazing. Like, it's tiny. It's all charitably run. But it's such a cool little place. The amount of things they've got in there is just incredible. So we had a really good day over there. Because Intel's based in Swindon, Intel processors, they've just given loads of stuff to them. They've got these huge boards in there of like the history of their chips and all these kind of prototypes and things. They've just given them away to this museum, which is really cool. And it's about like £4 or something to get in. So that's kind of been a really, really cool day out, actually. It's kind of, we did it last year very, very quickly. We sort of stuck our head in. We must have spent a good like 2.5 hours in there this time. My daughter got addicted to Lemmings on the Amiga for about an hour. I was just playing loads of nice stuff.
Excellent.
And you go downstairs and like use the bathroom sort of thing they have on site, and it's down in their offices, which is like the subfloor, and it's just a warehouse full of just like stuff they've been donated, and there's like things you haven't seen in like 30-40 years, like Rob the Robot, whether it is for the NES, which is now insanely hard to get hold of. It's like there's 3, and you're like, what? This is ridiculous. It's like, it's an absolute dream come true. You go and start talking to them, you end up in a conversation with one of the guys like half an hour down there, where your family's like, where you been? Nowhere. Blue, so and there's like, there's some of the stuff down there is really cool. There's the development machines for like old PC games and stuff like that. And I think there was one from like with PlayStation era and stuff. Really cool, really cool little place. You wouldn't think it was there. It's literally just tucked away in the top bit of town. So I did that. If you remember, I sent you some pictures. I then went and got the meat sweats because we went to a really awesome Brazilian restaurant as well, which is in Swindon. One of the Raditio places where it's red or green. Do you want to have more food thrown at you or do you not? I'm very much sit on the fence of you have the green one for the entire time until you basically can't think straight anymore. So I did that. That was awesome. That was cool. Really good. I enjoy that place so much. It's kind of become sort of a mainstay for us. Weirdly, museums one end of Swindon, restaurants the other. The middle of it, now not a nice place.
Oh no.
It's like you have all the... It's like I went to Swindon for years when I was at college and everything, and it was always my stomping ground when I was a kid. You get the bus from where we were in a little village to Swindon, but town's kind of gone to pieces. It's sad to see, really, but it's all like, it's charity shops and Greggs now. I think if you want about 20 of those, I want a CEX, which is pretty useful. But other than that, there's not a lot there anymore. But that was my birthday. Other than that, we haven't done a lot. Days out, things like that. Just making the most. It was really hot for the start of July. Obviously, we had like the 30-degree heat wave for like the last 7 days of the heat wave, I think it was. Other than that, I'm just trying to think what else we did. Not a lot. I enjoy some stuff on my birthday. I've got a controller that works. I've got an Xbox controller that doesn't disconnect all the time now. If you remember me saying I think I said to you guys, and I posted it up on the Facebook group as well, that my Titanfall pad I've had for like 11 years finally has kicked the bucket, won't connect anymore, won't update. So that's been thrown in a bin somewhere now, because my daughter complained enough audibly to my parents that they bought me a controller for my birthday. It's now worked quite nicely. So does that count as being a gift? That's what I need to now know, because I'm slightly concerned about that.
No, it's an essential gaming device, isn't it? You're not going to play any games if you haven't got a controller.
I looked at it as kind of like, oh, it was a replacement because the one you had is failed.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Let's replace that. I don't feel too bad about it. It's not as though I just went into town and went, oh, that's cool, and bought it and come home. So, but I think that's really been my month. There hasn't been a lot going on. It's so busy. You sit back and then realise you've just lost 30 days and can't quite understand where it all went. But there we go. I think one bit, sort of, if we shift on to games and stuff in a minute, that sort of tags in with the birthday is I've got two friends from school. I don't really get to see them very often. One lives miles away and's just got a newborn. The other one kind of like he's moved away with work and stuff like that. And on my birthday morning, I literally got 2 emails into my phone saying that these two people have sent you gifts on Steam. And I was like, oh, crap. That's not good, because that's gift games. I didn't ask for either of these.
Oh, no.
So I'm not sure where to stand on that. I have literally put them to one side and decided I'm not going to touch them. Group, please, everyone, I want your feedback on this, please. But my intention is they don't exist until January the 1st, which with one of them is going to be insanely difficult, because very, very generous friend decided to buy me Wreckfest 2, which is the only game this year that I've really been fussed about. And it's now sat in my Steam, and every time I fire the deck up, it's there going, hi. It's like, you previously got this. I'm like, shut up, I don't care. So yeah, that's sat there, and I'm a bit gutted. But I didn't expect it. It was great. And he's like, oh, I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what it's like. I'm like, can I let you know what it's like in 6 months? Is that all right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of a bit of an intriguing one, but that's one thing to move on games. But I'm interested to see what people's thoughts are on that one. Please don't punish me. It wasn't my fault, I promise. I didn't ask. So move on that bombshell from me a little bit. Games this month. What's everyone been doing? Do you want to go on this one again first, Brian? What have you been playing on? You said you've been playing a lot of games and hiding in the aircon. So
games. I started. Okay, forgive me. I started Division 2. I loved it. It's a great game.
Good.
But what is up with being online only? I know this the same in the first one, but if I'm playing solo, just let me play the fucking game. The first time I went to play it, the servers were down. I was like, what? I can't log into play the game. Then another day I went back, I got into the game, but there was loads of advertisements for the different I don't know, the different packs, whatever, but I got to play the game. Brilliant. The gameplay is excellent. I love the story. I love playing it. I was playing and I got to a boss battle and I got called for dinner. So I had to go for dinner, paused the game, came back, and I've been kicked from the server. Like, I booted from the server, and I was, what? You know, what the fuck? I haven't played the game. It's part of the PlayStation. So, but you try to start it again. Of course, you can get back to where you were. No, you've got to go all back to the fucking base and start again. I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. I can't. So I've put the game down for the moment. I know I love it, and I will love this game, but just let me play it. That's the only. And if you're playing online against other people, great. I'm only just playing solo at the moment because I wanted this story, and I was so fucking angry. But anyway, I've ditched the game for the moment. I'll get back to it eventually. Now I'm on break. I might have more time.
I think it's one of those games that's the big thing it's had. I think you were nodding your head as well, Paul. It's that game has had so many things of people kicking off about it being an online only game. It's one of the only ones where it kicked up enough of a stink that it became sort of like public, but they just got away with it. It was like Ubisoft just managed to brush it under a rug and they've never changed it because it is massively multiplayer sort of thing. I mean, I agree. I played it with, I mean, I played online, I have to admit, which was with Kev Horsley and two guys we work with as a group of four. So you're kind of doing it as kind of a siloed game sort of thing of the four of you. There's always people around, and it's an always live environment, which is great. You say until something goes wrong with the server. We've had situations where it kicks you, and then it's just like, oh yeah, but it's kicked you. So, and now that person's gone back over there, and their save is basically had a hissy fit, and now they can't get back. So you have to go back yourself and start again. It's like, for God's sake. And it's almost like the game messed up sequencing its own world sometimes, which is frustrating as hell. But otherwise, it plays so well, and you get really embedded into it, and you think, yeah, this is great. And then it would do that, and you was like, in sort of the same way as you. But we were stupid and went back and did it all over again.
Did you, when you played the game as 4, did you play the actual story missions, or did you just do the dark zone or whatever the other zone is called?
We have not touched the dark zone at all. The PvP side of it we didn't bother doing. We just played the whole storyline and the whatever it is of New York. I was about to say Gangs of New York, but that's a film. Whatever it is, the DLC package came on the end of it, and we played that solidly through the whole storyline. And that was about 120 odd hours or something.
Okay, so maybe I should leave it till after this. I've got more games to finish. I don't have time for it. So
it's one of those things you can go back to it and sort of do it in dribs and drabs, because you can fast travel between safe houses once you unlock them, and those missions don't go away when you have them. They sort of go back, and it will give you ones you can't get to because they're too like high level. If you stumble into those, you just get annihilated in seconds, sort of thing. But it does allow you to do sort of pick it up. Like we were playing it once a week. We normally have a Forza night or something on a Wednesday. And instead we play that for 2.5 or 3 hours, and you get a good chunk done. But you were allowed, as long as you went back to a safe house, you could sort of drop your progress halfway through sort of thing in some aspects. And it wouldn't punish you for it. You just sort of come back and start from that safe house.
Yeah.
It does rely on you having to like be a walking simulator like Death Stranding to like go and get to a safe house to be okay. Otherwise, it's calamity, basically.
Yeah. Hopefully, I get back to it. I do. Like, I loved the first game. It was equally frustrated with that one. I think I need to get 3 hours. If I get up early, I can get 3 hours in the morning, just straight game, and do a section. I'll leave it for a while. The next game,
it's a big old game.
I love the world. It really is good. There's so much going on. It really is a nice game, and I like that shooting games. But speaking of which, the next game I played is not a shooting game. I played Knights and Bikes. Do you know this?
Knights and Bikes?
Yeah, Knights and Bikes. Nope. Knights as in Knights, and Bikes.
I am now looking it up. I want it to be a BMX simulator with people in armour, but I don't think it'll be that lucky.
No. It's a game about two young girls on an island off the coast of England. It's set in the 1980s or so. So it's slightly, for me, hitting nostalgia zones. You end up exploring this island on bikes, two children with bikes.
Cool.
One of the girls' fathers is about to sell the family amusement park, I think it is, and to a developer, an evil developer. And the game is about you trying to save the family home by finding a legendary treasure on the island. In some ways, it's sort of inspired by the Goonies, that type of atmosphere, and the game is over, I think it's 6 days. It introduces new mechanics all the time. So you've got a boombox, or you have a plunger. You've got all these different things given to you. But it's one of the major issues. It keeps giving you new mechanics, but as the game goes on, it doesn't start to explain all the mechanics that you're given. You're given a new piece of equipment, but you're not told exactly what it can do. And you're told to experiment. I was stuck on one small part of the map for 20 minutes because I couldn't figure out what to do. Every time I tried to go down this ramp into poisonous fog, the characters kept saying, "Oh, best not to go that way." So I thought, I can't go that way, and there's no other way to go. But there was a new mechanic that I hadn't been taught about that allowed me to go that way. And I was like, fucking game kept telling me not to go that way. But that was the way to go. And that wasn't the only time it happened. It happened a couple of times. So that really was annoying. But it's like, one word. I want to say this. The other thing with the game, it really neat. It allows you to customize the bikes. I'm slightly older than you guys, but do you remember getting like things that go on the bike that make the wheels?
Yeah.
I feel so old doing this.
I've literally just found a screenshot of someone putting them on there.
You can put like
little things that go on your spokes.
Yeah, go on the spokes. You got little reflectors. You got, or they make a noise when you're clicking noise as you're cycling. You can do all that. You can put a little flag on the back of the bike, and or tassels off the side of the bike. It was, one of the girls is like a really alternative, almost like a rock chick type thing. So she's got you can deck her bike out like a hard bike with like a metal head, and it is really good. The game is a really good game. I like it. It's a 2.5D graphics. They're hand painted, as far as I remember. But because it's 2.5D, it's sometimes difficult to see some of the passageways, and there is no map or no real proper map to use. So I would recommend the game. There is a really good emotional story in it, but it is marred by crap mechanics that they don't tell you about and the lack of a map. So the game is really good, and I would love to see it do better. They made the game, and then a lady has written 3 books for kids based on it. But I liked the game; it was quite good. Anyway, that was one of the games I played. Let me see. After that, I played a game called Coffee Talk. Do you know this?
Heard about that.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
A visual novel, and I haven't played many visual novels in the past. Not many. Some were absolutely dreadful. One of them's fantastic. Do you ever play Doki Doki Literature Club?
Again, heard of it, but no. It's one of those games you see advertised, you're like, what on earth that? But you know it exists, sort of thing.
Okay, I'll do a tiny bit about Doki Doki. First off, get it on Steam. Don't get it anyplace else. It's free on Steam, and it's how to describe it? It's a game where like a dating game with high school students. I think the high school students. But it's the game you will have to play on your own. No tissue boxes around you. On your own, okay? Because it is disturbing. It's disturbing. It's disturbing.
That can go either way.
Okay, it's disturbing twice. The first half of the game, you're going to be really disturbed because the game is going one way, and then there's a change, and the game goes a totally different way, and it really goes to town. It's really disturbing. You do not want children nearby. If you have a partner, you probably don't want them nearby for the first half of the game, especially. But it is really disturbing. It's a really good game. Let's see. As the second half of the game goes on, you just feel more and more disturbed. Steam says of the game, the Literature Club is full of cute girls. Will you write your way into their hearts? The game is not suited for children and those who are easily disturbed. Okay, so if you're not in a good place mentally, do not play this game. I really mean it. That's a warning. But if you do play the game, play it on Steam, as I said. It doesn't need a big PC to play on it. It probably will play Steam Deck. But I'll give one hint. The game runs perfectly on PC. The game will occasionally crash, deliberately. Read the error messages. Go check to see what's happening. Your mind will be blown. The game breaks the fourth wall very well. Okay, that's it. No more about that. Anyway, back to Coffee Talk. It is nothing like this. So that was it by the by. So let's back to Coffee Talk, which I've just played. Let me see. Coffee Talk is, as I said, it's a visual novel. You basically read what's happening to other people as you go along in the game. They're all having conversations, and you chip in a little bit, but you don't really make much of a difference to it. The only game part of it is you make coffee or tea for people, so you select ingredients, and you can do cafe latte art. Better known as cafe art. I thought I can't speak. it's all about their conversations. It uses fantastical creatures like elves and orcs for its characters. It gives them real situations, and the reactions, they really feel like they've elicited genuine reactions from them. One of the story mirrors stuff that happened to me, which is in my own life, so it sort of hit home a bit. There are no high stakes in this game. You're not going to have to save the world. There's no zombie war or whatever going on. It's a really relaxed and chilled experience. It's a very short game, about 7 hours, but it packs a lot into it. If you enjoy games that are just story or narrative based, then give it a try. If not, probably avoid it. Coffee Talk 2 is already out and it's on my backlog. Coffee Talk Tokyo, I think, is the next one out, and that should be later this year. And then one other thing about this game, the game came out in 2020 in January, and I've just written his name now, Mohammed Fahmy. He was the creator and developer of the game. He passed away 2 years later, before Coffee Talk 2 was released. There was a whole host of stuff about how he died. I don't know how he died, but the company say it was asthma. So, I don't know, be careful. He brought out, I had more stuff written about this, and where has it gone? I hate Notion. He released another game. I'm now struggling to remember. Something about After. He was on Steam. It's basically a train journey into the afterlife. What happens after? And it was a really good game as well. Quite good, quite emotional game. But so I liked his games. It's a shame he's gone, but hopefully the company keeps bringing out new games similar to that. Let's see.
Am I looking at the right one? It looks like a 16-bit sort of era pixel art game, yeah?
Yeah.
Rather than being detailed graphics, yeah.
Yeah, if you play the whole game through and then play parts of it through the second time, there's other stuff going on in the game that you never noticed, but it's quite good. Let me see, what else did I play? A while back I mentioned I was playing Mass Effect. I started the first one. It really wasn't grabbing my attention. So if you've been watching what I've been playing online, you won't not have seen me playing it recently, because I sort of think Mass Effect 1 is a big pile of meh. I started playing Witcher 3 and it's fucking awesome. I don't know what the difference is between the games. I know it's like 10 years between them, and Mass Effect 1 is the first one and Witcher 3 is the third edition, so they've had time to fix it up. But Witcher 3 is so much better. The world feels alive. Mass Effect, the world feels as though it's antiseptic, as though there's nothing living in it. It just, there's something wrong with it. Witcher 3 is supposedly leaving PS Plus next month, not this month, in 7 days. Peter Ledson on the forums mentioned that the game's about 300 hours long. I'm 150 hours in. I'm still prattling about Novigrad, so I'm probably not going to get much further in the game, but I love it. So if it does leave, I will probably, well, no, I was going to say I'll probably pick it up, but more on that in a moment. I've mentioned to you guys earlier that I hated Witcher 1 and Witcher 2. The combat style was dreadful. I could not play it. I have both. I've ditched both games. I could not play them. It frustrated me so much. But Witcher 3 is brilliant. The barks in the game, or the one-liners, are so good. The conversation, as you're just walking past, you can hear everything going on in the background. And some of the stuff just leaves me utterly giggling. It's so funny.
Wanna dip your dingle?
I don't know. Did you hear that?
We did.
I did,
wonder
yeah.
what it was.
Okay, if that played correctly and is recorded correctly,
I thought that was the wife shouting. Shouting. And then...
Do you want to dip your dingle?
Yeah.
Want to dip your dingle, yeah. I was playing the game and that came, I just walked past a strumpet and that came out and I was what? I fell out the place laughing. I had to go back and try and find it so I could get recorded. Oh my god!
just staring at an NPC for like 20 minutes.
Go around. The game is so good. The stories that the characters have as you're walking past them, just talking amongst themselves, are brilliant. I did the Bloody Baron, which, as a side quest, is really excellent, and I loved it. It was really good. That's about it. The only other game I played was Child of Light, which do you want me to talk about now, or we leave it till the end?
We can talk about it now if you like. That's fine. Go for it.
Yeah. Let me see. Click on Child of Light. For those of you who haven't played it, it's a platforming, side-scrolling, role-playing game with turn-based combat, similar to Final Fantasy VII. I had... What the hell have I written? Oh yeah, there it is. The game brings me back to... The combat brings me back to 1997, when Final Fantasy VII came out. I like queuing up outside Electronic Boutique to get that game. So I took the day off. I was in uni in Brighton at the time. I took the day off to go and buy that game. The only thing is that, like, I read about it in the magazines in W.H. Smith. I was a student, so I didn't buy any of the magazines, but read them there. And then, like, after buying the game, a short while later, I was sitting down playing that game, and then wondering how I had come to waste so much money buying it. I hated that combat. I did finally finish Final Fantasy VII, but it was like 2 years later. I hated the combat in that game the whole way through it. This, however, my apologies to anybody who liked Final Fantasy VII. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's crap.
You just caused the biggest uproar now.
It is. Honestly, it's crap. The combat's crap, but I can accept that you're wrong. Don't worry. I'm the bigger person. The game Child of Light has excellent art. The watercolor style is beautiful. The character designs are gorgeous. The guy who did this apparently was all involved in all of the Final Fantasy series. I couldn't find a game he was missing from. I went checking. His name was Yoshitaka Amano. Yoshitaka Amano. He did most of the art for Final Fantasy, so he was linked to this. I also loved the music. The singer's voice, there's one song she sings in, I thought it was brilliant. She was Beatrice Martin from Canada, French speaking, but she's really good. The gameplay most of the time is quite solid. The platforming is quite good. The role-play elements all worked. The developing your characters and building them up all was really good. And then the combat. It has improved. It is much better than Final Fantasy VII, at least from what I remember of Final Fantasy VII. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. It seems to be a lot of depth this time, or at least I missed it in Final Fantasy VII. Swapping out characters, doing the timing, like having to kill knowing when to hit the enemies and when to buff or to protect your own characters. So timing became massively essential. And at least I never realized that was there in Final Fantasy VII. That was there. The map, though, is atrocious in this game. There is so many sections you could miss because you don't explore enough, and you can't tell if you've missed an area or not because the map is really crap. A map is basically an overview and doesn't tell you. You have, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 sections to go through, and you can't see.
Yeah.
But the side missions are unfortunately, really well hidden. So you could miss whole sections or characters because of it. Let me see. Do you know the point of no return in the game? There's a point of no return.
Yeah.
I read an IGN that was there, and I did it, and then went further, and I couldn't get back. So I finished the game missing one character. But what I did like is the game did allow you then afterwards to go back and collect and find them and do it. So I managed getting all the characters.
Okay.
So, because IGN said you can't go back afterwards, but you can. So you just don't have them at the very final section. But the game is... Okay, overall, I actually really love the game. I love the artwork, I love the music. And the battles, I really got into them. I don't know why. After saying I hated it so much, I actually really got into them. I loved it so much, I platinumed the game. I went back and kept doing it to platinum the whole game. So, there you go.
Okay.
I did love the game in the end. Yeah, so I don't know. That was good. I did like it. And that's the... Let me see. This is non-gaming stuff, sort of. So I mentioned to you guys earlier earlier in the month that I wanted to play Disco Elysium and that it had gone off PSN or PS Plus, and I was really pissed about it. Later on, I had to clear out a portable drive. I wanted to empty some stuff off it. It was a backup of my PC from UK when I came over. I was trying to find the big files on it, and I found Witcher 3 on it. I was like, what the fuck? Do I own Witcher 3? And I scrolled through and I found Disco Elysium. So apparently I had Disco Elysium Witcher 3 installed on my PC back in England, but I forgot all about it. I bought them in 2020 and 2021. I have receipts if anybody needs them. But Witcher 3 apparently is cross-platform. So
it is, and it works really well.
It does.
Yeah, the save.
It was, yeah.
Cross-platform saves, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can save it on PlayStation, and if it goes from PlayStation, I can move to PC, to laptop.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Hopefully. And then if I can stick in a mod that allows me to carry as much stuff as I want, and not have to worry about that, because that really frustrates me. That happened in what do you call them? Fallout. The Fallout 3. When I played Fallout 3, I had too much stuff. I was carrying too much stuff, and I couldn't move. So I just got so frustrated with that game. I gave up because I didn't like leaving things behind. So I gave up that game. But if I can carry it over, it's brilliant. I have Disco Elysium on PC and on my laptop apparently, which would be handy because it's no longer on PlayStation. The problem with gaming is, especially with PC, you have so many different launchers.
Yeah, which one was it on?
What I've found is, like when I was living in the UK, I was earning quite well, and if I wanted something, I could have it. I always put games on sales because you don't want to pick. I'm frugal, so that's every time you see it on sale and you go, oh. It may never get lower, so I pick it up now and I'll play it later on. But I couldn't remember what games I bought, so I found a software called Play Night. I don't know if you know. It's a bit like Steam, GOG, all of those pulled together. So you can have EA, Epic, GOG, Humble, Itch, PlayStation, Steam, Ubisoft, and Xbox all under one launcher on your PC. So you can see all the games you own and see what platforms you own them on. It pulls them all in. It's awkward to set up for PlayStation and Epic. I don't know about Xbox. I don't have anything on Xbox, but you can pull them all together and you can see exactly what you own on what platforms, and it works really well. Okay. So let's play nice as an NITE. But yeah, that's really good. So I now know what I own and where I own it, and how many versions of each game I have.
Yeah, I feel that way sometimes as well.
Yeah, that's basically all my gaming. I was going to play. I thought I had an hour free today. I was going to try and play a short hike, but I didn't get a chance to do it. But other than that, that's all I played.
Can I just say one thing? You mentioned about Witcher 3 and it going off of PSN very shortly. Now, bear in mind, for your save game to go into the cloud, you've got to log into your account, haven't you? On your PlayStation, you've got to log in two different ways for your save to go into like GOG's save facility. Otherwise, the game could disappear off in 7 days. You can't access the game, and your saves are still on PlayStation, but they haven't automatically transferred into like the cloud for the what you call the cross-platform save. You've got to log in again.
So the CDPO servers.
Yes, something along them lines. Otherwise, you're going to come unstuck.
Okay. Okay, cool. I did see that Steam, a CDPR. Is it CDPR? The name of the people make Witcher 3. Yeah. They are going to allow mods on PlayStation and on Xbox. So they're updating the Witcher 3. So it's going to get another update soon, which will allow modding on the games, which should be quite cool. So if anybody hasn't played before and wants to get back into it, you will have more options to play around with the game on consoles. So I think they're changing. I used to use Gamer Nexus in the past for Skyrim. It has a whole thousands of mods for Skyrim, but they're using a different one called mod.io, I think it is, now for Witcher 3. I think it's coming into a load more games as well, so thankfully consoles will start to pick up mods for games, which is really handy.
No, agreed, definitely so.
And that's
So
it.
do you know what you bought? Do you know what you bought Witcher 3 on originally? What platform it was? Or not?
It was... Oh, hold on.
No, I've got it on GOG, because I remember they bought it out originally, and it was the only version you could get of Witcher 3 that didn't have the piracy protection stuff in it, whatever it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they made a big noise about it when it came out. They're like, this is the one we haven't got to put up with, whatever it was. I can't remember the name now.
Is it DRM or something?
Yeah, the DRM was terrible on Steam and stuff from memory on it when it first came out.
No, I have it on... There you go, I have it on Steam. I have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I have Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on Steam. I have Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition on PlayStation, and Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Game of the Year Edition on PlayStation. And I don't know what the difference is between Game of the Year and Complete, but...
Game of the Year Edition was the PS4 version, is that correct? Which was had a few extras on it, and then Complete Edition was the one they did they did a PS5 upgrade onto it. I want to say that's right, but I could be wrong. But I thought they did it because they did a graphics mod updated version on the PC, and I think they then brought that to the PlayStation as well because it had the grunt and made it the Complete Edition from memory.
Yes. So on Steam, I've just got plain Wild Hunt, but when I logged into Steam, I've got all the DLC as well, so I didn't clue what the hell I've got. Yeah.
Okay, we've got all the DLC. That's the most important thing. Because the only thing that might screw you over is if you had the DLC on the PlayStation and it's expecting the map or something, whatever it is, to change. It might not. But
the DLC there's 2 DLC.
Yeah, Blood and Wine is in it, and there's one other one.
Yeah, so I've got both of those. So I don't know. I found it really confusing. Just give me Witcher 3 Complete or everything version. But yeah, so I've got that on Steam apparently. But yeah, it's
as much as you thought you were going to get stick for Final Fantasy. I probably will do now. I got Witcher 3 on release day on GOG, and I played about 20 minutes. I've never started it properly. It's sat there. It's always been installed. I was over the moon and couldn't wait to play it, and then I just never did. I don't know why. I forget that it's there. Same with Cyberpunk. I've got like 15, 17 hours. I don't know what it is on Cyberpunk, and I've never gone back to it. It's just there. They're both sat in my GOG library as your most played GOG games, which the one shows how much I play on GOG. Sadly. I think the third one is the emulated version of Pinball Dreams, I think, from the Amiga, which they did years ago. But it's sat there and I've never touched it. I think the reason was when I first got Witcher 3, I had an AMD graphics card and it ran like absolute turd on anything that wasn't NVIDIA because they had NVIDIA Hairworks and all this kind of stuff, and the game was totally tailored for NVIDIA when it came out, and it just ran horribly like a PowerPoint show. And I think I got really annoyed with it, and then just never went back. And I've gone through a seamless line of my graphics card now is probably 5 times more powerful than the one I had then, at least maybe 10. But I just forgot to go and play it. I imagine I can just run it everything on maximum, and it won't even think about it. But yeah, I owe it to it, really, so I apologise profusely for never really starting Witcher 3. Anyone I speak to says it's one of the best games they've ever played. And Paul's not in the corner, thanks. Makes me feel even worse now.
No, it is. I
need to play it. I really should play it, and it's one of those things.
And they've constantly supported it and updated it as well. They've added ray tracing and all kinds of things. It really has. They have totally made it better and better and better every year.
Yeah, it is stunning. Just the level of detail of what's going on in the world, and that's why when I think about Mass Effect is just fucking. It's empty. There's nothing there, and even when you see characters, they're not barely talking to each other. You go they're having full conversations, or they feel like they're having full conversations, and you're just catching a clip as you're going past. It is really good. World building's amazing.
I think the issue I had as well is I had 1 and 2 on Steam as well. And I think I probably got like 10 or 20 odd hours on probably both of those if I was to go and look. I can't remember. It's a long old time ago. But they literally just were incapable of running as a computer game. They were just the most flawed, terribly built PC versions of games ever. It was in that period of time where they would bring them out on a console like the 360 or the PlayStation 3 or whatever it was, and they just work. And yet the PC, like anyone who basically just got like, I don't know, a hard drive and threw it in a washing machine for half hour and went, that code will work. And that was literally it. But it would play for 10 minutes. You do anything apart from walking and it would blue screen or it would crash and then you'd lose your saved game. And it's just like, I mean, if you look at my play time, it's probably utterly skewed versus what I've actually played. I mean, I've probably played about 7 minutes, but most of it was just trying to get through the menus and stopping it crashing.
I did play it back in 2020 when I bought the game, which is the 2nd of November, or 11th of February. I don't know which way the dates are on this. But all I remember is the very start of the game, you're in the bath with one of the characters, and that's all I remember. I didn't get much further than that when I first played it because my old PC couldn't handle it. So this will be an excuse to get a new PC because this laptop is not going to handle it. Yeah,
I was about to say, and it's like you're intending on going on playing it. You're going to be in PowerPoint City as well.
Yeah,
running at like 2 frames a second.
I hope it stays on PlayStation. I know I picked it up on PlayStation well before it came back, so maybe it's the complete version is going to go on. I'll be pushed back to the Game of the Year version. I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see.
I think they're all tied in an update together. The only problem with cross save, I mean, I'd much rather have a save that goes across every format. I wish to do it for every game. Is that your trophies don't carry over? So anything you complete on if you're a trophy hunter, whatever you do on PC, let's pretend you go back to play it on PlayStation in January. Anything you've achieved on one is not going to be shown on the other platform.
Yeah,
that's the only downside. Not a big deal, but the only downside.
Okay, on a game like the Witcher 3, I don't think. Trying to platinum that game would just take too long. I couldn't even think about trophies and that. So yeah, I just want to get through it. What's that? Is it? I think it was in the TV show, in Witcher 3 the Witcher TV show. The guy who plays the Witcher passed some comment. No, we won't go that way because we'll just get distracted by side quests. And it's so true. It is. There's just so much going on. There's so many side quests. And they all sound good or interesting, and I've enjoyed so much. I think even there's a podcast called "Distracted by Side Quests" by Phil Olson, but I'd love to see that come back. But yeah, it is a really, really good game. At the start of this year, we picked what games were our favorite games ever, and I picked Mirror's Edge. It's now either Returnal or Witcher 3 are my favorite games ever. I really love this game. But yeah, 10 years after the game came out, or 15 years after the game came out, I'll fall in love with it. But yeah, it's good.
I've just checked. It's still installed on GOG on my machine, weirdly enough, like it has been in a stationary format for the last 10 years, but it is there.
You can just off the hard drive.
That's the advantage of doing the Year of Shame challenge. You're getting a chance to look back at your catalogue as opposed to just looking at the constant onslaught of new games and appreciating what you have got,
That's true. It's true.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more indeed.
Okay, I've talked too much. Somebody else talk about games.
No, it's all good. That's what it's all about, mate. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Paul, do you want to go next, mate?
Sure, yeah. I'll start off with a little bit of hardware. As you know, I buy and sell things. I've had literally 5 Switch 2s in the past, since release. So I finally managed to get a used one. The other ones were sold as like new, but were virtually new. The kind of like warehouse broken, damaged boxes. So to sell them, you're better off selling them as new. Other than, it's just got like a bit of a dodgy box on it, because you're going to lose 50 quid by taking it out of the wrapper and playing it. And, people want it all nice and neat, etc. All the cables, nothing mess with. So anyway, I finally got like a used one. I've had a couple of used ones. One of them I took down to CEX to sell, because based on the price I get for it on eBay, CEX were giving virtually the same price. And it had a few scratches on the screen. Those screens, I will say, they do have like what looks like a protective cover on there. People have been in the news saying that they tried to remove the screen, thinking it was a screen protector because it has that same sort of shimmery look to it, you know, as if you could just peel it off, and people
Yeah.
had damaged the screen. So whatever you do, don't peel the non-peelable screen protector looking thing off the front of those, because you end up with a damaged Switch 2. But I took it out of CX, and I think I got like £316 for it, which was pretty good. And plus it had the scratches on the screen. But the thing that really, really annoyed me is that I went all the way down to CX. It was boxed. It had all the little poly bags and all the rest of it. And anyway, I took it in, and the guy opened it. Obviously, he knows his stuff. That's fine. And he opened it up. He says, it's not fully boxed. And so, I mean, it's got its big red box. It's got like the cardboard bit that sits between like the between the TV adapter and the power supply, and it sits on top. And he points out there's a small piece of cardboard missing from between the power supply and the you know, the Joy-Con adapter thing. You know, like you can slot your two Joy-Cons into it to turn it into a joystick.
Yeah.
So I'm like shaking my head thinking, what, he's going to say it's unboxed because of a piece of dividing internal cardboard. So anyway, I sort of took a bit of umbrage with him at the time. I says, well, show me an unboxing on YouTube while I'm here. Let's have a look on YouTube. So he very kindly put the YouTube unboxing on the screen. So we both watched it, and yes, he's right, it's missing it. So anyway, I already know at home I've got another Switch 2. So I disappeared off home because I'm a tight-fisted individual. He wanted to knock £10 off of the price for a piece of cardboard. So anyway, I disappeared off home, went and got this missing piece of cardboard, took it all the way back down, and you know, I got a £316 back. I was really quite shocked, considering he did not mention the scratches on the screen, yeah, which to me, they're not totally distracting, etc., but they were definitely there. But he wanted to knock £10 off because there's a little piece of cardboard missing. I found that really just a little bit too far. And it did dawn on me afterwards that, for example, I could have just taken the box back and used the box at a later date, or even sold the box on eBay for about £20. In any case, because on eBay, people will just buy a box. You know, I don't know a lot about it. Maybe it's an insurance reason. You know, they might be up to some kind of, you know, oh, yes, I did own a Switch 2 and it's been stolen, or I've lost it in the park. I don't know. That's just me.
People just like full complete consoles as well. If they've got a wall of consoles in their house, which you see a lot of people do, are collectors. I mean, I bought a couple in my time. I got a Vita unboxed off of Facebook, and it was silly cheap, but had no box with it. And then some guy sold the box inserts, the AR cards, and they came with, and that for like £11. And I was like, I got a full one now. All right, lovely. That's nice.
Yeah,
so it's just a nice. People will pay it.
Yeah, it is nice to have that full version, especially if you're going to keep it. So obviously, I spent a bit of time on the Switch 2. I played a few of my previous catalogue games. A couple of the games, one of them I did play was Monster Hunter Stories 2, which is an RPG type game. Really good. It is a little bit sluggish on the original Switch, but it has them kind of graphics which are a little bit like Borderlands, and it really upscales and really takes advantage of the processing power of the Switch 2. So it made that bit more of a pleasure to play. I played that for about 2 hours. I really enjoyed that. I played another game, which is Mary Skelter 2, which is it's a dungeon crawler. Really good dungeon crawler. It's like a horror anime dungeon crawler. Good game. I probably played that for about 12 hours previously. I bought that on the Nintendo sale ages ago. And I believe when I bought it as well, when you buy Mary Skelter 2, it actually comes with like Mary Skelter 1 as well, but the remastered version. And those particular games, I think they're a good 30, 40 hours each. It wasn't expensive at the time when I bought it. I think it was probably about £9 in a sale. Excellent game. Really good. Really enjoyed that. What will I say about the Switch 2 though? Do I desperately need one? Not really. Do I appreciate the bigger screen? Yeah, I do like the bigger screen. I think it is fantastic. Does it work any better in direct sunlight compared with any other handhelds? No, terrible in the bright sunlight. But I will say that it is a nice device. It's a good device, but the inevitable OLED Switch 2 that will probably pop out in a couple of years' time is potentially worth holding on for. Would I miss it? Not really. No. Do I need it? No. I will definitely say my Switch OLED is perfectly good. I'm not like crying about the fact that I've sold it. It's whatever. So, but more will turn up, that is for sure. I'm starting to see more of them pop up on eBay now for like £300 second hand and such like. So they are coming down in price. But yeah, really nice device, and it does feel good in the hands. The Joy-Cons are sturdily attached as opposed to a little bit rattly like they are on the original Switch. But really enjoyed that. Been playing lots of other games. I've looking through my list of games that I've been playing. Surprisingly, most of them are like horror based, really. I completed Alien Isolation. I must have owned it perhaps 6 years or so, at least on PC. I played it on Steam Deck, but through the TV. I have played it previously, handheld as well on Steam Deck. And what I will say is that game works excellent on Steam Deck, and the game looks really good as well. Still stood the test of time. The main alien that comes around that's always stalking you. That's some pretty cool AI they've got going off in there. It can be annoying at times where it can just get you just at the very last second and you have to rerun the same section again. But yeah, loved it. Really good to get that one off the list. I played and finished Gris, the platformer, which is about the young girl that seems to be sort of stuck in some sort of like internal nightmare that seems to be going off in her brain. Really enjoyed it. Great graphics, probably only about maybe 6 hours or so to complete that. I also finished another game. A lot of my games I've been like halfway through previously. I decided to jump back into Evil Within 2. I had spotted online, someone said that it was enhanced now for PlayStation 5. I believe it was a reboot. It was originally a PlayStation 4 release. I do also own it on PC for this reason. I believe the PS4 version was only 30 frames per second, which I find a bit jarring playing on a big screen. If I'm playing 30 frames per second on a little screen, say like a Switch 1 game on an OLED screen or something, you don't seem to notice it as much, so I don't mind doing that. But when it's on a big screen, I find it quite jarring, that 30 frames. So anyway, I put that back on. It's got a really super nice easy mode. So I put that on and I enjoyed the adventure. I was originally on chapter 4 and I think I probably put another 8 hours into that and finished it. Fantastic, loved it. Story's a little bit convoluted. But yeah, that's another one off my list, Evil Within 2. Then I played a little bit of Blueprints, which is on PlayStation, what I can't remember what they call the top tier PlayStation Network, but it's on that one. Played that for about an hour or two. Really enjoyed that. Would I go back to it? It's one of them games where it's a little bit too random for me, where I'd find it quite frustrating, the progression, where what I've learned on my first run will teach me something, but it won't necessarily help me finish the second, third, fourth, or fifth run because it's just too random. You could take a wrong turn and totally ruin the whole thing. But I can appreciate a lot of people have been enjoying that. Played a little bit more God of War Ragnarok. I was 10 hours into that. Paid a few more hours of that. Excellent game. One game I went back to, which got a bad launch. It was like a AA game that came out, a game called Biomutant. Came out, I think, in 2016. It's a little bit like Assassin's Creed mixed with Ratchet and Clank style sort of graphics and I suppose you can call it like a sense of humour. The main thing that was bad about the game when it came out is the chatting on it. It is absolute gibberish and you couldn't turn it off either. So, like, you've got this, like, narrator in the background, you know, like Little Big Planet, where it was big for a while, where everything was narrated and it, you know, some guys just chatting rubbish, basically. But so,
Yeah.
thankfully, you can turn that off now. Or well, you can't turn it off, you can minimize it, so it's not as bad. Really enjoyed it. As typically goes with a game you haven't played for many years, the first hour can be a massive struggle to realize what you're meant to be doing, where you are, where you was, the controls, the buttons you've forgotten that might do a particular special function to enable you to get past a certain section. But once I got back into it, really enjoyed it. One thing I found a little bit difficult, though, the cave sections, they're a bit on the dark side on that. As in, like, literally the lighting is bad. So make sure you play it in a very dark room, otherwise it just doesn't come across in like a regular, you know, like daytime lit room, really. What else have I played? I played after finishing Alien Isolation. I decided I fancied another horror style game in a similar vein. I went back and played a bit of more Prey, which is another horror
you do it.
based space game. Once
That's on my
again,
list.
excellent. Took about an hour or so to get back into it. There's a lot of mechanics. I would advise, if you can, playing it more from beginning to end, because it took me an hour to get back into the mechanics, etc., and realizing what I was doing wrong. I managed to progress further, which was good. I also played another AA game, and it was one on my list to buy last year, and I never actually bought it. And I did think about buying it for my Year of Shame challenge, so I had it, and that was one that came to PlayStation again on the PlayStation Plus, which is what do you call it now? Banishers of Ghosts of New Eden. And if you like your Witcher games, it has a very much a Witcher sort of style of graphics and theme, but it is also like Alan Wake 2, where it's a detective game as well. Really good, excellent blend. I did originally play that because it was part of PlayStation Network last year, but you could play like the first hour. So I had a 1 to 2 hour trial, so you could get certain, like maybe the first chapter. And I really enjoyed it. And I went back and I give that another couple of hours. Really enjoyed that. I am going to play more of that. But one of the games that came to PlayStation Network just this Tuesday, which was Lies of P, which is obviously a Soulsborne game. Wow, what a game that is. Absolutely fantastic. So I've managed to finish that. I put about 20 hours into it since Tuesday. Yeah, done.
Nice.
It has got an easy mode, which is those sorts of games. I'm into it for the adventure, really. And even an easy mode, you still die quite a bit. Those Soulsborne type mechanics. The baddies, if you stand there long enough, if they get enough hits in, they're going to kill you. Easy mode or no easy mode, he's just going to get a few more hits. Really enjoyed it. Fantastic game. I wouldn't call it necessarily a horror game. It's more like freaky and monstrous as opposed to like horror. I don't remember there being any ghosts as such in it. I found you could, I'm not really one for bothering with costumes and such like in games. I'll just play the main character as the main character, but the costumes as well, they don't actually do anything for the character. If you wear a particular costume, it is totally cosmetic. But one thing that I did was I put, like, you could get like a dog's head. So it's literally an Alsatian's head. And I put that on my character instead of like the regular character, which looks just like a puppet. And I found it made the game more more interesting to play it, because it played it more like Bloodborne, because you were looking at this guy with this Alsatian's head on, and the Alsatian's head looks really good on the character, and it made it more my kind of game rather than a little bit cutey with the puppet. But yeah, really enjoyed it. If you play it on easy mode, the baddies are quite easy to do, and it's typical Dark Souls type games where you talk to different characters and you have decisions to make, and if you say one thing, that can bring a whole different path to a storyline. So certain bits, you would have to play it 2 or 3 times to platinum it, that's for sure. But yeah, 20 hours of pure fun, I'd say. But other than that, I've not been playing much else. What have you been playing, Ben?
Actually, can I ask you, did you play Bloodborne?
Bloodborne, yeah, love Bloodborne. I tell you what, the thing with Bloodborne, I finished the main game, and then there was a long time in between it doing, like the add-on, the DLC that they released. And I went into New Game Plus, which really is not my style at all, New Game Plus. And now you can't kind of go backwards to play the DLC in the original, like, non-New Game Plus difficulty level. So, which made it like just too difficult to play the DLC. But yeah, excellent game. Have you played Bloodborne?
I started this. It was my first ever Souls game. I started it and I didn't get far into it before. There was one corner, there was a big guy walking up and down, and I thought, I have to find out what's down there. He's protecting something, and I spent hours trying to beat this guy. I couldn't, and I got told later on that you don't go near that guy, you leave him till much later in the game. This game's not for me. I also find Victorian era type, that style of game, I find it really creepy and I hate it. So it
Yeah.
just disturbs me too much. And the game is, like you go past rooms and you can hear people moaning inside or something behind doors and like just groaning. The game is disturbing. So I thought I'll leave that for another time. But it was my first ever type of Souls game that I've played. But I think
That
I
was
might
the
get
main
back to
reason.
it. Yeah.
That was the main reason for buying my PlayStation, really, was the Bloodborne game, because it was an exclusive. It was a system seller for sure. They keep taunting people with the idea of them re-releasing it, because it is in 30 frames per second. It is showing its age. It does look a bit creaky. But I would certainly play it. If they brought out Bloodborne 2, I'd be on it. No problem at all.
Yeah.
I'd definitely buy that.
I remember, was that the Logbox guys played, they did the Year of Shame, was it 5 years ago now? I think they were YOS 8. They got Dave, man the menus, to play Bloodborne. He loved it as well. So, but I don't know. I might look at it later. I may look at it later. But it's a game I would like to play.
Based on your returnal sort of abilities, it has then kind of tactics. It's not as fast, but that returnal skill level will pay dividends in Bloodborne for sure.
Yeah. I actually went back and played Returnal day before yesterday. I've been through it the second time, and through the second time, I've got if anybody knows, I've got all the pieces of pie for the sun. So that's as far as I've gotten in the game now. So my second run through. But yeah, I love Returnal. But yeah, anyway, we'll let Ben speak.
That's okay, it's fine, carry on. Don't worry about it. My camera's going all blurry now, so you're going looking at me through like a smudged screen for some reason. That's what you get for buying an expensive webcam, I suppose. Yeah,
You got to learn how to use it.
Right, so, yeah, exactly. You always got to learn how to do what it's supposed to do. Just record basic images of an old man. That's all I needed to do. I have no idea what I was doing at all. It's just the autofocus has stopped working.
Oh, well, don't worry about it.
It's probably better you see less of my chins this way, so it's all good. Right, so games this month, what have I been playing? So we had Child of Light on this month, and I have got to literally, what we said, that point of no return on it. So I am very, very close to the end, I believe now. I've kind of gone into that sort of point where I'm going around a little bit in circles now, and I am gone back and picked up a few of the quest and side missions that went on. So I've done those. Now I've gone back to literally about to go and start that last bit. So in theory, I'm inside the last hour. But have to agree, it's not normally the sort of game I would play. I absolutely loved Final Fantasy VII years ago. Thought it was great. Loved it. I can't remember the last time I played it, to be honest with you, but I do remember some of the mechanics. And you do look about, they are crusty as hell now when you think going back. But yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it. The art style was great. The story was good. I sort of thought, I'll start playing it, see how I get on with it, and really did get pulled in. And I think probably because the art style as well, and what was going on, it almost feels a little bit sort of children's book style in its nature. That my kids end up sat on the sofa with me, just sat and watching it, and then sort of treating it like a story. And you get like, what's that character doing? Who's that? Who's this? It's like, I can't remember, honestly. I was like, your team's growing and you forget their background a little bit. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's been a cracker of a game, it really has. And the turn-based mechanics are decent. They're not so in-depth that you're literally cripplingly bad at it, even if you haven't played a turn-based game, like myself, for quite a long time. I have to admit, I did ask both of you guys that I'm getting stuck with, do this, and you gave me some pointers on it, which was massively helpful, by the way. And I think it was just a matter of working out what I really should have been doing and balancing your team, doing more of the swap outs when you need to do it and all those kind of things. But yeah, it's absolutely a cracker of a game, really is. Considering it's PlayStation 4 era as well, rather than 5. It looks phenomenal. That UB art, or whatever it's called, the game engine's an absolute cracker. So I hopefully will have that finished before we go away on holiday. That is the intention.
Before we go any further, we talked about it on the Facebook group, and
yeah, we did.
Yeah. Stuart Ramage has finished the game. He was going back to finish off the platinum on it, but he loved the story, the artwork. Who else is there? Luke J. Knight loved the Child of the Night. He's finished it multiple times. I won't say it's crazy, but it is a good game. Stuart Whitehouse also thought it was a top game. And, we got two Richards, Richard Purvis and Richard Birch. Both think it's a great game. Richard Birch's gorgeous game didn't take an absolute age to finish, and unlike so many games of its type. But, yeah, that was from the forums, but from Facebook.
Yeah. It's good to know that people have played it and it has got that sort of similar appeal. It's loads of people have enjoyed it. It's I can see why.
Yeah.
It feels, as I say, it feels like watching a bit like an animated movie that you're playing, a little bit like a sort of, not going to say Studio Ghibli, wrong art style, but you feel kind of compelled to play it through because you're almost watching it at the same time as playing those key moments. It's good, and I recommend anyone else who hasn't to have a go with it. It's definitely good. What else have I done this month? So there was the whole thing going around in the news about Forza Motorsport, and it's going to be killed off, and half the team have gone at Microsoft and things like that. At which point I think I had a slight meltdown and hid in the corner and got upset. And I've started, for some reason, playing 4 motorsport games at the same time, intermittently whenever I fancy it, which feels like a completely ridiculous thing to do. But Forza Motorsport 4, which was the 360, I'm now hit level 50, which is realistically the top level on career, on the last season, which is season 10. And I've got 6 races or championships left to do to finish the whole game, realistically, in career. So that's pretty cool. Happy with that. Taking my time on that one, since it's a 360 game. Forza Motorsport 7, I got lost on that, and I'm pretty much halfway through on it now. I've just smashed through the career on that. And 6 and 5, I think, I'm probably about 20-30% through. I keep going back. It's a racing game at the end of the day, and it's the same tracks, obviously, around the world and stuff on it. But somehow you go back and look at it, and you can kind of see where Forza Motorsport has gone wrong by going back. I remember when the Xbox One first came out, Motorsport 5 was the first game they put on it, and that was that's the scale of things to come. That's the Tour de Force versus the other one. And it got absolutely berated that it wasn't a good game, and it wasn't enough of an improvement, and X, Y, Z. I've gone back and played through it, and it's such a good game. There's so many things missing in the new ones that they must have just stripped out because of the difficulty levels or the amount of coding you have to do. I suppose in the world of get the games out, get them released, and financial side of it, and that push is kind of, you can see where that's been squeezed so much. Even little things like in the car, like you drive along and everything in like the new game is rigid to a degree. Whereas you're driving along, this is stupid and very, very geeky, but at certain levels, the faster you get, the wipers are moving more, and they go at the screen like you would have in a car that's accelerating past stuff, and the mirrors are moving. Everything around you just feels, I think, like you said, weirdly enough, like Mass Effect. It's more alive. It's no longer just like car model, and that's it. It's kind of been thought about. I've absolutely loved playing them all, I have to admit. I'll be absolutely gutted when they do kill it off. There's been something this week where they said, oh, no, it's not going anywhere yet. We've got plans to do some time trial applications and stuff for it, so you never know. But that's my sad obsession with Forza Motorsport out of the way, so I'm glad I've gone there. I've been looking at, I've played the Turtles Cowabunga collection on my Steam Deck, so I've been playing, I think it was Hyperstone Heist, which is the Mega Drive version of the arcade game from Turtles from like the mid to late 90s. I love that game so much, and I'm now playing through that again. I think I'm about to complete that. So, yeah, it's a Mega Drive game, but it's a completion, and I absolutely love it. Moving Out, if you remember the Team 17 game, where literally the whole prospect is you are people who are moving house for them. And it's like a sort of top-down isometric thing. You pick up sofas, throw them through windows, stuff like that. Absolutely tongue-in-cheek, all puns everywhere. Stupidly fun. Just generally stupid, but been quite a good laugh to sit in bed and play that in the evenings. Can't stop playing Gran Turismo 7. The reoccurring theme of Ben and racing games here. But I've done a load of time trials on that over the last month and got to kind of the silver and bronze banding worldwide in order to get financial rewards in game and stuff on it, which has been good fun. Again, a little bit sad.
I was just thinking, do we need to where we step in and take control? How many games are you playing? How many motor games are you playing at the same time?
Too many, far too many. But that's the addiction from the cars. If you look back at it and you're this is just stupid. Why am I putting myself through this? But it's been a crack and a good laugh at the same time, so I don't mind.
Oh, that's
I
good.
mean, you get up in the morning, I'm like, I've got 15, 20 minutes before I go to work. I can crack out a couple of races in that time before I walk to work. It has got to that point. What's it? PlayStation VR. I dusted that off at the end of last week, plugged it in, made it sure it works with the adapter you can get for the PS5 and everything they gave away. And I've gone back to, oh look, another racing game, Drive Club VR. Instead, I'm going to go with that. And there's the Astro Bot Rescue Mission game. So I've totally finished the one that came with the PS5, whatever it's called, the Playroom, Astro's Playroom that came with the PS5.
That's a good game.
Adore that game. I think it's amazing. And the rescue mission is VR only, but kind of feel compelled to go back and try and do it. Played it with the kids when we got the VR and then never really did a lot with it because it was setting it up and all that kind of stuff. So going to try and crack through those. I've got the last boss to do on Sonic Superstars now, which is the last Sonic game that came out. And I can't remember if I mentioned this last month or not, but a game, the Trials games, like the motorbike stuff that Ubisoft made, they made one that was a piggyback off the Blood Dragon franchise, which was the almost like 80s Mickey take of Far Cry from memory. And it was like a game they bought on the back of it, and you were meant to be an 80s action hero type thing. And they decided to try and steal that theme, put it into a Trials game. Don't play it. It's absolute arse, and I have no idea why they bothered with it. It's the graphics kind of make sense. The gameplay's terrible. The handling model is completely like just shite versus what a Trials game should be. It annoyed the hell out of me, but I still finished it because I felt I had to. But please don't put yourself through it. Allow this to be a public service announcement. Don't play Trials of the Blood Dragon. Anybody. Unless you're being paid or held at ransom or something, maybe go for it then. But still think about it. I think that's where I got to. There's a whole lot of racing games in there this month, so I'm just kind of dealing with my addiction a little bit. Oh, one other thing. On my lunch breaks, I dug out my 2DS and found my still own Rhythm Paradise, if anyone's played it. No. You're looking at me funnily now like I'm having a breakdown, and that's totally fine. It's a game on the 2DS where you have to tap in time with rhythm and play stupid mini games. And there's like big singing Easter Island heads on it and stuff. Very hilarious game and great fun to play. Oh. But that's sort of just become my brain freeze on my lunch breaks at work at the moment, playing on my DS.
No, I'm beak deaf, so I can't play them.
So that is an utter scatterbrain of a month on my part. I'm fairly proud of how just dysfunctional that list looks now when I go back and look at it. But yeah, but that's me. I'll quickly go on and do first. I'll do movies and stuff. We normally do a bit on that. Yeah. I haven't watched a lot this month because I've been too busy playing Forza Motorsports, strangely enough. So there hasn't been a lot of time for anything else. But I know you guys said about watching these before. I finished the last season of Taskmaster that was on. I love that program. It's hilarious and it's good to just let your hair down and watch. Great. Is it Great British Menu Professionals? I finished that now as well. The last one of that. Watched the final of it. I watched the feature-length pilot of Yellowstone because everyone around me keeps telling me how great it is on Netflix. I'm not sure if you guys have ever watched it. The Kevin Costner thing, all set in the West in America. Horses, farms, ranches, all that sort of stuff. Good. Very, very, very in-depth. And it literally, the first is... So in about 45-minute episodes, they're meant to normally be. This is an hour and 40 minutes long, and it just throws character backstory at you like a Gatling gun. So you're sort of set up to then watch the rest of the series. But we watched it one night, and my wife afterwards was just like looking at me like, I think I understand what we need to do. And it's like we watched one episode and we're just insanely confused at this point, basically. It's like we sat like, right, should we do another one? It's like I can't remember. I don't know if I've got the brain power to sit here and watch it. I don't think it's even like a brain powery show, but just so much happens in that first hour and a half that you really have almost got to take notes. It looks great, and I think when we get around to watching it, it'll be decent. And there's people at work who swear by it, and friends around here, so it's meant to be very, very good. On the opposite side of that, we've watched the Madame Blanc Mysteries on Netflix, which is I can't remember her name now. She's an English comedian. But we've watched the whole first series of that in a week. And that is just, it feels like dumb kind of murder mystery watching. And that's been hilarious, but great. we think we've got into that more than like anything we have in the last 6 months because it's simple whodunit watching, but it's very, very cool. So if you've got some spare time in an evening and watch something that doesn't use your mind, Madame Blanc Mysteries is where it's at.
Madame Blanc.
I feel completely mid-late.
I thought you said Madame
totally
Bonk.
No, not Bonk. Sadly enough, no. That was Bonnie Blue's documentary, wasn't it? I think. Which is on Channel 4 if you really want it. Yeah, so that's been my month. Again, it's fairly scatterbrained, but there wasn't a lot of it because I was too busy playing Forza Motorsport. So that's me. Wishes to go next. Can I interest you, Brian? Go ahead. Okay. What have you been watching? Any more terrifying manga?
I only watched one. Like it continued from last episode. I talked about my love of a Japanese punk song called Linda Linda by the Blue Hearts. I watched a Japanese movie called Linda Linda Linda. Well, 3 Lindas. It's set in 2004 in a Japanese high school. 4 girls are preparing a song for their final day of a school festival. It deals with them, their relationships with each other and others, and their developing friendship. It's quite good. Unlike American movies where, at the end of an American movie, there's always definite resolution. You know, how things, usually everybody ends up being best friends or whatever at the end. This doesn't end as smoothly as that. It's sort of, you're left not knowing how relationships all sort of worked out. But the movie is really good. To be honest, I loved it. Do you know, I'm going to struggle to say this name, Bae Doona or Bae Doona, doing it the Japanese way? She's a Korean star. She was in Cloud Atlas, Rebel Moon, The Kingdom, zombie movie. She was in Sense8, Air Doll, Jupiter Rising. She's quite a famous Japanese actress, or not Japanese, Korean actress. She was in it, and her singing. She acts as the lead singer in the band for singing the punk songs. She is brilliant. She has a really good voice. She absolutely rocks. After that, there was a movie. Finished season 1 of Murderbot, and it was good. The people who haven't read the book seem to like it, and as usual, people who have read the books don't think it's anywhere near as good. Currently, I'm on the second last book of a fantasy series called Wheel of Time. So when I finish that, I will try reading Murderbot to see what it's like. Ben mentioned previously The Resonance. So I started and finished really quickly. Episode 1 had me laughing out loud. It's slightly Coen Brothers-like. It's very well. It's quite Coen Brothers-like. So if you like Fargo, you may well like this. It's really excellent. And it's some amazing touches in the show. Like one episode is called The Third Man. And if you listen through all the way to the end, the theme music at the end is the theme music from the movie, The Third Man. And it's quite good. So that's murder mystery. So we've got murder mystery, another murder mystery. I watched Ludwig. One of you mentioned Ludwig last time as well, I think. Can't remember who said it. I started one morning and several hours later I finished and binged the whole show, the entire season in one day.
Nice.
If anybody hasn't watched it, David Mitchell plays a socially awkward crossword puzzle setter I've written this, it starts to make sense, who starts to investigate why his identical twin brother, has gone missing. He takes over his job in the police and starts solving murders for them. It's an excellent story. It works really, really well. It's quite funny. He is so awkward, and he carries the role so well. I have in the past.
I think I mentioned it.
Did you mention
someone else had told me about it, but I haven't watched it. I think there's just been a passing by one. I think I'm glad you enjoyed it in that case.
It's like 6 episodes, and I watched the entire 6 in one day. It's really good. I have in the past watched a TV show called Bosch. It stars Titus Welliver. You'll know his face if you see him. Then I watched the spin-off from that called Bosch Legacy. That was cancelled. And then they brought a new spin-off from it called Ballard. And Ballard is a character's name, and she's been played by Maggie Q. So I was extremely happy when I saw Maggie Q in it. I watched the first season of that over a couple of days. It's more the same. So if you like Bosch, you'll like this. It's quite good.
Yeah.
I watched.
I was trying to work out it's a detective type thing, isn't it? From
Yeah.
memory.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Exactly. I never didn't say that in there. It's a detective thing set in Hollywood, around Hollywood and California. I don't know, wherever the fuck Hollywood is in America, California. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we see, I watched a TV show called Station 11. Have either of you heard of this?
Nope,
Station 11, no. It's based on a book the same name by Emily St. John Mandel. The book was written in 2014, okay? So remember that, 2014. It's a story set during and after a flu pandemic, which wiped out most of the world. But the show was only made in 2020 or 2019, so it was sort of prescient. It is slightly disturbing. It's a pretty good show, but it is slightly disturbing watching it all back again, the people being in lockdown and watching it. Oh, it sort of hits home a little bit more than it should really do. While I was watching this, one of the actresses I saw, I recognised her. She was Laurie Petty. I don't know if you know her. I kept thinking I knew her for something else, and I couldn't think of what it was. And I went searching her on IMDb, and she was
Laurie Petty's classic stuff.
She was in Tank Girl. You remember that movie from the 90s? I'd never watched it, so I decided to watch it. It is bad. It is really atrociously bad. It isn't even bad that it's good. It's dreadful.
It's bad that it's bad, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even like allowably bad. I agree.
It's a properly bad movie, and it has Ice-T as some sort of mutant dog. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. It really is bad. And then finishing, I watched an anime. Studio Ghibli makes loads of movies. Everybody sort of knows them. I recently found a podcast called Ghibliotech, and it's by two British guys. One of them's from Channel 4 and one of them's from the British Film BFI, British Film Institute. And they're doing a podcast going through each of the Ghibli movies. So the first one was Spirited Away. I hadn't watched it before, so I've lined it up. It's a really cool movie. Really excellent animation and attention to detail in the background. And the story is about a 10-year-old girl called Chihiro. Her family are moving to a rural town, and she's worried about the move and new schools and stuff like that. Along the way, her parents stop off and get transported to a spirit world. I think that's where the name comes from. And it's about her fending for herself in the spirit world. It's a coming of age type movie, but it's done really, really well. Miyazaki is a real master of animation. I think that's all I've watched. Yeah, that's all I've watched.
Awesome.
You're up next.
Yeah, I've been watching a bit of all sorts, really. Watched a couple of films, or I should say I've watched like 1.5 film. I watched Megan, which is the horror comedy, really, about a person that's developing these sort of robots for home. And they're a doll. So it's a little bit like Chucky, what they call that, Problem Child. Oh, no, is it Problem Child? What do you call the Chucky movie?
That was Child's Play.
Child's Play, that's it.
Yes.
Child's Play. So it's a little bit of a play on Child's Play, really. Really good. Plenty of good laugh out loud moments because it's over the top deaths. They're not serious deaths. They're kind of like just ridiculous deaths and the situations that the robot finds itself in, but it kind of takes itself seriously a bit with a over the top comedy element to it. And I also started watching another film, oddly enough, it's a horror film, which is one called 28 Days Later, which is a zombie horror film, which is like part 3 of, I think the first one was called 28 Days or something along them lines. Really good. Some of the death scenes, or when like a zombie is shot or killed, it's like watching a video game, like say Sniper Elite, where when the thing enters its body, it sort of like just zooms right in, maybe shows like a bit of an explosion. Looks really good on screen and kind of takes you by surprise when you first see it, because you're not expecting it, because the film, although it's a bit of an actiony sort of film, you don't kind of expect that kind of display of violence at some point. So I've watched about half of that only because I got tired, so I'm going to watch the other half later. Watched a bit more TV. Something we got into recently was a show called Match Me Abroad, which is a dating show where there's like 4 or 5 Americans, never even left the country before. And for some reason, things haven't worked out for themselves with fellow Americans. They just haven't kind of like clicked with any of them. And they've decided in their infinite wisdom that they should go to another country, say like, where does one guy go to? He decides to go to Prague. Is that like Czechoslovakia or one of them kinds of places? Really, really nice guy. You can tell. He's just a genuine nice guy. He's sort of like been walked over a few times in the past. Relationships have gone from like just turning into like being friends, or he's been ghosted. And you can just tell his heart is absolutely in the right place, and he's looking for love. And he decides to go, and they match him up. And the first person they match him with, this other person, like she's like kind of like, typically like she's like, a bit too pretty for him, really. She's all dolled up, etc. You can tell she's not the sort of guy she's looking for, and vice versa. And he learns a lesson from that as well. And he does. And his dress sense is not very good. He likes to wear, he calls them suspenders. Now, it's not like what an English person might assume suspenders is like, like underwear suspenders. He likes to wear braces with everything, like the braces for holding your trousers up. And perhaps they are called suspenders in America. I mean, like we call pants, we mean underpants, and they call pants. They're on about trousers over there. So maybe that's what they are called in America. But they're just ridiculous. It just doesn't really suit him. And so they give him like a bit of a makeover, etc. And he goes on these dates, and he does actually meet what appears to be a genuine woman. She's really into Star Trek, genuinely into Star Trek. She shows him a picture of when she's dressed up as one of the Star Trek characters and stuff. Really, really good. Anyway, it's well worth watching. The other people are in there as well. They're interesting characters too. But I would recommend watching it. We binged it. There's like 13 episodes. They're all about 40 minutes each. We watched that. Watched a couple of BBC comedies. One that I've been looking forward to is a show called Mandy. You may not have heard of it. It's Diane Morgan. The big, tall, lanky woman you see in quite a few shows. She was in like Afterlife. She does that show. She has like her own show called Cunk or something, CUNK, where she does like she does like fake documentaries where she's just talking absolute rubbish about most things, but it sounds believable. So, but yeah, that's really good. But Mandy, she plays like a bit of a chavvy sort of street council. I shouldn't really call them that. She's a council estate person. It's like making it all sound really bad. But that's kind of like she's portraying that as she doesn't work, she hasn't got a job, and that's like her nemesis is the guy that works at the job centre who's constantly trying to find her a job. He finds her various jobs. In season 4, one of the jobs she goes to is like to work in a fish and chip shop, and the things she gets up to in there is just not good. Excellent show, 15 minutes long, well worth watching. Excellent comedy. Another show I've not actually seen before, it just popped up on the BBC comedy list, which I think BBC actually do a lot of good British comedies. I quite like their stuff. And it's one called Alma's Not Mad. She's like a 30-something character. A relationship with a drug-dealing boyfriend is just about to come to an end. She's got no money to pay the rent, and things are just not going good. Her mother is in a psychiatric hospital. Her grandmother, she's like a bit of a live wire, and her friend that works at the local sandwich shop, she's like a mentor to some degree, always encouraging her to do things, stand up for yourself, don't do this, do that. Well, anyway, she's quite a likable character. She's a little bit mad, a little bit scatterbrained, but she decides it'd be a good idea to go into prostitution, which is quite an interesting thing for her to do. So she becomes like a call girl. And it's a comedy, unbelievably. But it works really well, 30-minute shows. The woman that was in, she's an excellent actress. I don't know her name, but she was in Rita, Sue and Bob 2, the classic film from the 1980s comedy. The girl with the dark hair in that, plays her mother. So it's got a good quality cast, and I would highly recommend people giving Alma's Not Mad a try. And if you haven't seen Mandy before, give Mandy a try. Little 15-minute episodes. They are classic. The first episode may not gel with you. You have to kind of watch one, maybe say three episodes to kind of learn to love her madness. But yeah, definitely worth it. But other than that, no, I've not been watching much else.
Just looked up that Alma's Not Mad. It's Sophie Willan, or whatever her name is. I've forgotten who it was. I thought I'd heard of it before. So I've seen her. She's a comedian, isn't she? From Yorkshire, I believe, isn't it? Or
yeah, she seems to have that kind of accent. Yeah, I'd say it's good, well acted. I really enjoyed it. We haven't watched them all yet, but I'm probably on about episode 4.
Cool. Yeah, she was on Taskmaster, I think it was, like a season or so ago, and she's on that. Quite hilarious, actually. She's good to laugh. So I think it was we looked up her stuff after that and found that one, but never really got around to watching it. Cool. Good stuff. Right, I have scribbled down some stuff on both your parts this time. Thank you very much. Right. So, shall we move on to what's happened with releases over the last month? Obviously, we are bridging the gap between probably the end of July and this month, August. We probably mentioned some of the July ones, I think, last time we did an episode. I've just scrolled through it now, looking at my usual GameSpot haunt of what's come out. We've got the obligatory EA Sports college football games for this year. Hooray. Is it Mycopunk? A deadly fungal menace threatens a galaxy who you're going to call the Atlas Hazard Crew. Crew of armed robots with unique gadgets. It's like a first-person kind of half pixel art, half cartoon sort of game. First-person shooter. That looks weird as hell, but that's quite interesting. It came out in July. What else we got? Patapon, which is an old classic PSP game, I want to say, from years ago. They've made those and rebuilt them. Same way they've done some other games recently. Yeah, July kind of struck me as being it's a historic re-release month. So Patapon, Tony Hawk's, Neverwinter Nights 2 Enhanced Edition, an expansion for Destiny. What else we got on there? Obviously, you got the new. Actually, probably the most important thing for the month was that new Donkey Kong game that came out on the Switch too. I haven't looked into it much. Have either of you seen if it's any good or not?
It seems to get good reviews, but I think people are a little bit. I'll say this naively, a little bit starved of Switch 2 releases. So I think anything at the moment that is Switch 2 is probably going to be gobbled up and enjoyed to the maximum, really, because they haven't really released a lot of Switch 2 games.
So I'm feeling that's kind of meant to be Mario, isn't it? They did bring a Mario game out with the Switch 2. They went and pushed it towards Donkey Kong instead. It looks insanely pretty, which it would do being a first-party Nintendo game, but I don't know. It's one of those things I didn't even bother looking into. I just thought about it again now, which is strange for me. If there's a new Mario game, I'm normally one of the first people to go and look it up, but I haven't looked up on that one at all.
Isn't one of the guys on the Seal podcast totally absorbed with it at the moment?
Oh, really?
It's not Dave. Who's the other guy? Yeah, not the guy in Canada. I can't think. I
forgot his name.
Oh my god!
I feel really bad.
Sorry if you're listening. You probably don't know mine anyway.
Well, I know he works at Tesco's. Let me. Yeah, I really should know his name, and I do know his name. But when you need to know someone's name, let me have a quick look. I know he was on this week's show. I've
just been looking at the show notes, and they don't have any names in the show notes. So Fraser? Isn't that Fraser?
Fraser, Dave, and then as Pilch. He used to do the show before. And it's Dave. Dave is right. I think, is it Dave? No, Dave.
Dave has Dave Games.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Let me just go into other episodes.
Neil,
that's it. I feel really bad. Yeah.
Okay. We'll do it again. Okay, cut. For professionalism.
I think that was fine. He's no longer the man that just works at Tesco's.
Isn't the man from Tesco's? Isn't he really into and Neil. Sorry, Neil. Neil from the Pill. Oh my god. Neil from the Pilch podcast. Neil from Seal podcast. He is really into it. Apparently, he's been playing loads of levels of it. There we go.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I was listening to the episode when he was chatting about just before he revealed what he'd actually bought, which was the Switch 2, and he was tempted to go with either that or the Steam Deck because they were going on holiday. So yeah, quite a difficult choice actually. Between the two, that is a tough choice. So yeah.
It depends where your allegiances lie with kind of the games overall, I suppose, isn't it? If you're a massive fan of first-party Nintendo products, it's kind of a no-brainer because you can't touch them on a deck, can you? But if you've got kind of the breadth of library, you can pirate it onto it, I suppose, or emulate it. I don't know if you can do that yet or not, to be honest.
Yeah, you definitely can. Some of the games, I haven't personally done it, but I've watched some of the YouTubes on there. The games, the big games like the Zeldas, they do struggle because you do need a half-decent-ish PC to play like the Zelda games emulated. But quite a lot of the games, yeah, no problem at all. Works fine.
Blimey. Fair enough. We don't condone this, by the way. Sorry.
You can look at it on YouTube,
Right.
but don't click on the adverts so they get no money.
Well, I watch YouTube using a VPN, and I go via I think it's Moldova or Monaco or somewhere like that, because certain countries like China, Monaco, their adverts on YouTube are standard. So I watch all the English stuff. You logged into my English account via a VPN using either China or Monaco, and I get no adverts. So. Or if you want to do it on your phone, you can always use, on Android, you can use the Brave browser, which is totally legitimate browser, but it has a VPN built into it. So any YouTubes you watch on that, no adverts. So that's good.
I use uBlock Origin with Firefox, and it blocks all the adverts. The only thing is, though, if you do watch YouTube with Firefox, because YouTube is owned by Google, and Google have Chrome, they delay all loads of Firefox of YouTube videos on Firefox, regardless of what you got. So they slightly punish you for using Firefox rather than Chrome. But uBlock Origin blocks all adverts all over, so it's quite handy. Makes life easier watching these.
No, definitely.
Well, yeah, the adverts. I mean, the adverts are just too persistent. That's the problem with the adverts. You know, you don't want to watch an advert every 15 minutes. And the problem is with the adverts, they're highly repetitive. You know, the same advert will be blaring out with you every 15 minutes. I don't know how people can bear it. And they do it to such a degree to almost, you know, arm wrestle you into paying for it. I did used to pay for it. I used to go via India. I paid something like 159 rupees per month. I used to, because a lot of people used to do that. You just sign up as if you're in India. But they banned all that. You know, well, they didn't ban it. They went round and started saying, well, look, if you can't prove you're like in India or you're not using an Indian-based like debit card or whatever, well then, nah. So instead of getting 159 rupees a month from me, which is about £1.50, then I'll get absolutely nothing because I use my VPN instead. So whatever.
What, you mean you don't want to have advertisements and want to go on a Jet2 holiday every 15 minutes? Who doesn't? Surely.
I know it's
£50 a person, right?
Yeah, it's just a nightmare to watch them. It does my head in.
No, I couldn't agree more. Honestly, couldn't. Right, I'm just scrolling down the rest of this month. The only thing that looked interesting on there was Grounded 2 came out. Sadly, never got round to playing the whole of Grounded 1. We played it as a multiplayer group a long time ago, when it was in early access, I think, but it was unstable and a little bit light on content, so we never finished it. I didn't even know there was a second one until I scrolled down this list. Anyone heard of it? Grounded? When you basically, it's almost like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the game.
Oh, yes.
Pretty much. You're trapped in a garden, there's a bunch of kids, and there's giant insects and stuff.
I know the game, but I've never played it. I had heard about it, but don't know anything else. Don't know much about it, to be honest.
It was quite good fun. I have to say, the first one was all right. I mean, we just gave it a go because it was on Game Pass and in early access at the time to try and see what you get from it. It wasn't terrible, but it was light on content. It must have done something right because you wouldn't build a second one in theory unless the first one did okay. but I wasn't any part of that, sadly. So, what else we got? The rest of it is all very much just kind of updates and remasters of things. To be honest with you, it's been a bit of a weird month on July, to be honest.
I just looked at
We're into
Granda 2. It's
August.
PC and Xbox. That's why I don't know much about it.
Yeah, that'll probably be why, because it's a Microsoft Studio-ish game, I think, or one of their third-party ones. Got on there for August. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yabi, the Hino Kami Chronicles 2. That's gone directly over my head, sadly. It looks very anime.
I don't know any of it.
Not sure that is.
It does, doesn't it?
It's an arena fighting game, apparently. Follows the protagonist of this. Oh, yeah, I haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
Like anime, have a look. That's where I'm going to go with that one. Gradius Origins. It seems to be a selection of all the old Gradius games brought back to new consoles, if you like those retro ones. Tiny Bookshop. Weirdly, this looks quite interesting. Reject modernity and embrace the laid-back charm of running your very own bookshop in this game. As a travelling salesman looking to spread the good words, you'll be tasked with keeping your store stocked with must-read titles, finding scenic locations to set up shop, and getting to know your customers. You can expand your horizons. It looks... graphically doesn't look a lot. It looks a little bit like Untitled Goose Game style graphics, but you just get to run a bookshop from a van. Weirdly, it's one of the things I can see me getting lost in.
It looks quite cute.
That came out. Yeah, came out 3 days ago apparently. PC only, sadly, for anyone who's interested in that one. What else we got? House of the Dead 2 remake. So we had a conversation about this earlier on. These remakes of House of the Dead and gun games are great, as long as you can find a gun that works with either a monitor or a television that's not a CRT anymore, sadly. There's one company that's making them, but I mean, I've got the first remake of the first one. It's not bad, but the problem is moving a cursor across the screen to shoot is not a gun game, sadly. Mafia: The Old Country.
Yeah,
anyone played a Mafia game? I've never finished one. I have to admit, it's one of those ones.
Yeah, I finished Mafia 3, which a lot of people didn't like, hated on it because it wasn't anything like the original Mafia 1 and 2. It's an open world game set in like the 1970s. Really good, excellent game. Loved it. Even bought the DLC for it. They got a lot of hate at the time because it just wasn't similar to the first two. People who were expecting something different. So, but yeah, I would play the
guy. Sorry, carry on. You'll play the.
I was going to say I would play the new game given the opportunity, but I think that'll be on. I think people are kind of saying it's a bit of a shorter game and it's also not open world. So I reckon that'll be on Game Pass or whatever by the time we've finished. I reckon come January, February, March, that'll be on, free to play to some degree.
Yeah. Yeah, this $50 game is from developer Hangar 13. It's designed to be a short but bittersweet tale of loyalty in the cutthroat criminal underworld. So yeah, it's almost like it ties everything together rather than it being a full-blown game. Was 3 the one where that guy came back from like the military or something?
Yeah.
Is that what the storyline was based on?
Yeah, they start off like a security. From memory, starts off like a security guard. I think they go do like a robbery or something at the beginning. He's like a big dude. With he has like a security. You start off in this van, and they're sure you go do a robbery to begin with. I can't remember if it goes wrong or something. I can't remember, but I must have put a good 50, 60 hours into it. Massively enjoyed it. I love the shooting on it and the stealth like as well. You're going around popping people off or going up behind them and strangling them to death. Brilliant.
Sounds so healthy. I think
strangling people, brilliant.
It's good for your mental health.
Just snip this out. Mafia 2, I think, was the one he came back from World War II.
Was it? Okay.
World War II,
yeah,
I think it was. Yeah, I played that.
I guess that's kind of like the Godfather storyline because the Al Pacino, he's just come back, hasn't he, from the war. Because he's in his uniform and stuff, and obviously they want to integrate him into the Mafia. But yeah, brilliant. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, 2 was the big one. I remember that coming out with, I think it was some some error of AMD graphics cards. It was their big push because it was optimized for it and all this kind of stuff, and it came free with it. That's how I ended up with it. But again, surprisingly enough, based on me being in this position now, it sat and wasn't played in my collection. So, oh well. Right. What else is there? Dawn of War's getting a definitive edition. If you've ever played the turn-based Games Workshop games.
No?
So based on Space Marines and everything, there was the Dawn of War 2. I believe there was a 3 as well, I think. They've released the original game as a definitive edition, which has got 4K support, upscaled textures, improved HUD system, which will be nice because the first one wasn't great. And all the expansions included, plus you get 64-bit mod support has been included for the PC. That's kind of cool. I have a weird feeling if you own... It was even that there was expanded versions of them bought out. I can't remember if it was this, but they were giving it away. If you originally owned Dawn of War, you got the upgrade for nothing on some of the stuff, but I can't remember what it was, if it was to do with this or it was a previous version. Worth looking up, I can't remember. Because they did sort of like... they've done a partial remaster or a relaunch for it, and they were giving them away to anyone who already owned them on Steam. But yeah, they were cracking games. You just love them. They were really good turn-based fun.
I've never played any of the Warhammer games. Something I should sort out, really. Should try them.
I played one.
Yeah, I mean...
There's like
You
a...
did?
it's like where... it's a multiplayer game. Can't remember the name of it, but you can all play together and what they call it now? I can't remember the name of it. Really good actually. But they brought out too many expansions for it, so to keep up with it, just have a quick. I'm sure it's a Warhammer game. Warhammer multiplayer.
There's the strategy ones. I can't remember what they're called.
I'm not thinking of something.
Dawn of War was the... I'm trying to remember which one was which. Dawn of War was obviously the turn-based ones that was based on the 40,000 timeline.
Yeah, I might be thinking of a totally different franchise, but it's the same kind of thing. Yeah,
there are a lot of them on there.
Yeah, I'll try and figure it out while you do that.
No, Dawn of War's worth it. I think it was just done really, really well. It was a Relic Studios game. If you remember, was it Company of Heroes was brought out years ago that there was a World War II group-based thing, which I absolutely adored. That was fantastic.
I played that.
And the same people who made that Relic Studios made Dawn of War. And there was a time where you could buy them. You got them both as a double pack, which I think I have still somewhere in the loft. Where you got Company of Heroes and Dawn of War together as kind of a celebration of selling so many of them or something. And you got them both in there in DVD boxes. Cracking games, really are. What else have we got? I'll wait for you. Let us know when you find what you're looking for, Paul. It'll be interesting to know. Hooray! There's a new Madden NFL game. Who would have thought? Moving on. Dragon Drive. The year of the Switch 2 continues. Another exclusive release in the form of Dragon Drive, a 3v3 sports game that requires you to use both Joy-Cons in mouse mode to control the player's wheelchair. So it's like a wheelchair baseball game, and you have to use in mouse mode to do the turning sort of thing.
That's quite cool.
It feels inappropriate saying it, but are you treating it like you would do tracks on a tank then? And
I would say so, yeah. Forward, one side, back on the other, to make the turn sharper.
I mean, that's cool though to be using them for that sort of purpose.
Good,
actually making a game that makes use of it, and a sports game. Reminds me of what is it? Is it Arms on the original Switch they bought out? Was a boxing game, and they had hands on springs sort of thing, and it was a fighting game, and you basically use both Switch Joy-Cons for it. They brought that out early on. It was never really known by many people, but it was really decent. Hopefully, I get the same thing.
Hopefully, yeah. That'd be good. It's good they're actually thinking about somebody in a wheelchair anyway.
Yeah, that's good. And the inclusivity, to use the right word, is pretty cool that they've done that. Is pretty awesome. What else you got? Midnight Murder Club. Never heard of this, but there's no shortage of competitive first-person shooter games. Midnight Murder Club puts a novel spin on the genre by forcing you to fight your digital life in the dark. Set in a mansion where lights have been switched off, you have to make tactical use of your flashlight to keep open for muzzle flashes. Okay, that sounds interesting. So it's an arena shooter, but you're in the pitch black. Feels kind of cool.
That sounds intense.
Hard. It feels like exactly like a game that I will be utterly shite at, is what it sounds like from a starting point. I've got Delta, bringing back Delta Force. It's interesting to know. Someone mentioned that to me about a month or so ago. I haven't seen a Delta Force game in years.
I found that game I was thinking of. Warhammer Vermintide 2.
Oh, that was the team-based first-person one.
Yeah, it was pretty good actually. I quite liked it, but I think I got it on a cheap deal at the time, and there were various other add-ons. And if you don't always have the add-ons, you can't always find someone to play with, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it was really well done.
Have you got what format have you got it on?
I've got it on PC.
If you ever want to play it, more than happy to. I love that game. It's great fun.
It is.
I don't know if you've got it kicking around in your historic pile anywhere, Brian, but if you have, that's great fun as well. It's like almost like Left 4 Dead, but it's based in a Warhammer universe. So it's first person, and you've got like massive axes and stuff, and you just hack the cack out of loads of like Vermintide, who are like the rat evils from the Warhammer universe, and it's like a wave survival type thing. Really good fun, decent game.
Yeah, I played it quite a bit at the time.
Just checked. I have it on Steam.
If not, we get to January the 1st, it'll be like £2 in the Steam sale. It always is. And I think, as you said, you buy the game for like £2 now, and you get like every piece of DLC in the known universe with it, which is like a trolley load basically from memory. So I can't remember what they did. They did some big update on it last year, and I can't remember what on earth it was. If they put like, I can't remember what it was. They put an extra section into the game and did a big improvement on it, but I can't remember for the life of me what it was. I'll have to look it up now. So we got on there. Black Myth Wukong finally makes to Xbox this month after being PlayStation exclusive, wasn't it? Or PlayStation PC?
PlayStation PC, I think, for a year, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played it. I haven't really paid a lot of attention to it. It's one of those games I already look at the pile of adventure and story-based games that I haven't had a chance to play. Thank you, Forza. So I don't ever bother looking into it too much, but it's meant to be decent, I'm assuming.
It's supposed to be quite good.
Yeah,
I've never got around to it.
It's almost like an hostage release, isn't it? Like an exclusives amnesty. Like, like handing over these exclusives to each other format.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, quite right.
Very good.
Absolutely. The thing is, the bottom of the list is totally that, because literally, as we spoke about earlier on, the top one, the next two, which is the bottom two on the whole list, is Gears of War Reloaded coming onto the PlayStation, and then Helldivers going on the Xbox. So literally, again, it is like a swap.
Is it Helldivers or Helldivers 2?
Helldivers 2.
It is good.
Like we said this earlier, but Helldivers 2 is supposed to be, was released and was a really good game. Everybody raved about it. And it's a recent game. Gears of War Reloaded is a game from, 10 years ago? 8 years ago? I know you said it may have been improved, but I don't know. If I was PlayStation, I'd be feeling slightly shortchanged. I'd love to see the Gears of War collection come out. But
19 years old, nearly 20.
Years. Yeah. But I don't know.
But it does make you think they've got to start it somewhere, because I think realistically, even though it may be not heavily, the storyline of the Gears of War games does follow on as part of how the war progresses in the series.
Yeah.
So it makes you think, okay, they're banging Reloaded on there for a reason, which means that eventually is PlayStation going to get the full saga up till 5?
I would hope so.
That might well happen. Yeah. They did get good. I mean, they were decent. They say Gears of War 2 was an epic. Gears of War 1 was really, really good. Had its problems, but really did set the franchise up. And I still go back to it and think that's a top game. And then 3 onwards, I can't actually remember playing. I think weirdly enough, I didn't play 3 because that was on the 360 and I didn't own one till late in its life cycle. Weirdly enough, for Forza. This is like the topic that keeps giving, isn't it? And then I ended up playing Gears of War 4 and 5 got PC releases, I want to say, which is why I ended up with them. I think that's what happened. I missed 3. But yeah, they're really great games. I mean, if it turns out, I mean, it'd be quite nice if they did a Game Pass on it for PlayStation Plus and just basically went, here you go, in a couple of months. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be
I
good.
think it'd be a good sales pitch.
Did you ever do
playing.
this? Have you ever done the Gears for Beers?
No, I haven't actually. No.
That's the.
What game was that? Was 4
Gears
or
for
5,
Beers.
wasn't it? I think they were playing on that.
I don't know what game they're playing. I just know they were playing one of the games. I never joined because I don't have any of the Gears for whatever Gears of War games.
Yeah.
So I never joined in.
Only beers, no beers.
But I could get the beers. But the only problem nowadays is it'd be 8 o'clock in the morning for me. It's a bit too early to be drinking beers. Yeah.
I have a feeling it was 5 that got the survival mode added to it, which is how it becomes like a wave survival thing again, which is how it becomes a more playable game in kind of a short-term base.
Okay.
So instead of being story-driven, you can have that bit.
A few years, yeah, they'll have number 5 out on PlayStation. Like, look at joining.
Yeah. Helldivers 2, I do really fancy playing. I am utterly behind the curve and haven't touched it before. I've got the first one, I think, somewhere in my old PlayStation catalogue. Obviously, that's derelict now. But yeah, it does look awesome. I would love to play it. Maybe next year. We'll see what happens. I know Kev Horsley was convinced by a friend this year, post Year of Shame, to pick it up. And he's played a lot of time on it with his friends and said it is a really awesome game. So
yeah, I too.
It's interesting that it's that decent. Oh well, maybe one day.
No.
But it does look cool.
Yeah.
But that pretty much gives us. Oh yeah, the only thing is at the bottom, which in its own little section is obviously we've got Metal Gear Solid this month, the Snake Eater release.
Yeah,
which should be quite a biggie.
Yeah, it'd be massive. There's a couple of interesting retro-y sort of like ones coming out. There's the 40th anniversary for Balderdash, which people might remember, which was a bit of a classic game back in its day. And then, of course, the iconic Kevin Toms Football Star Manager is coming to PC.
I'm sorry, I forgot about that. The picture's even in the chat of that guy's mullet.
Yeah.
I mean, he was iconic. You couldn't flick through a magazine in the early 80s, computer magazine, without seeing his picture. Could you? It was impossible. He was in every magazine. Was Kevin Toms, and he's the original Football Manager guy. And absolute props to him. Really, I mean, amazing. I mean, and to think that he's still releasing another game after all these years. I mean, that must be coming up towards, well, beyond 40 years. I think it came out in 1983. So it'd be like, what is that? It's like 40 odd years. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
That makes me feel really old. I remember playing it when it came out.
Yeah, it were basic back in the day, but it was fantastic. I mean, I wasn't a big football fan back in the day, back in the early 80s, but I enjoyed the game. The game was addictive. It was well worth playing.
Yep.
I think I remember seeing it on like availability on like the shelves and stuff for cartridges, but just never buying it and thinking to myself, that's cool. Oh, look, Chase HQ. Yeah, I'll buy that instead.
Absolutely.
I think that's probably the bottom of that list now. There's a few other bits in there I've got about. There's that Rogue Prince of Persia game, and the Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which is that first batch of the games that Sega have been talking about. They're re-releasing loads of stuff. So I think it's Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, Streets of Rage, and Shinobi. They were saying they're making 4 new games and kind of a teaser last year, and that's the first one. It does look very, very good. It looks very good indeed. Anyone who's not doing the Year of Shame, I believe there's also a demo on Steam and PlayStation and everything. I think you can play a couple of levels of it. That looks kind of cool. But other than a few Switch 2 re-releases like Kirby and Bits, which is just the same game with the DLC with it and stuff, that's kind of it, I think.
There's Destiny Rising, which is Destiny on mobile. I don't know how it's going to play. I'm not really into mobile.
God.
But the video of the game, it doesn't show gameplay, but it does look quite good. But I don't think gameplay can be anywhere near as good as what the video shows. So, but people keep saying,
my heart,
influencers talking about this is the way Destiny should be. I don't know.
My heart always sinks when this happens. It always does. It's like, oh, it's become a mobile game. That's the franchise flushed down the toilet pretty much now.
Yeah.
It's like it's made it that direction. I mean, when Diablo did it with that Diablo Immortal, if you remember that press conference when they announced it, have you ever watched that? Have you ever watched that or seen it?
Yes,
It's quite
yes.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's
The
quite
guy
crazy.
standing up going like, "Is this an April Fool's joke?" You're like, okay.
That was shocking to watch. But
But yeah, it just kind of makes you think. It's like, right, you've decided you've exhausted and can't be bothered to work with the people who've supported the franchise. It's like, let's just throw it at anybody for £2.99 on a mobile platform. You're like, oh god, really? I mean, hey, it might be good. I might be totally wrong. Please do prove me wrong, Bungie. Fire away.
I hope it's good, but I won't play it. Don't play mobile. I don't.
No.
I can't imagine controlling a game and playing on a phone and controlling, unless you've got one of those the handsets that claw onto the phone. I couldn't imagine playing a game that way. But no.
Yeah, I've got the Razer one of those, and it's still hard work, to be honest with you. You're still using something that's smaller with a Switch. Then when you've got shovel hands like me, just becomes not workable.
Yeah, but that's not for me.
Watch this space. Hopefully we can say something positive about it before the end of the year. But you never know. Right, cool. That appears to be the list for this month. So the next big questions, I assume, would be: Has anyone buckled and bought anything? Have you thrown money at the situation and decided you can't get on with it?
No.
I think with you falling back in love with Witcher, you're fine. But
yeah,
right.
Yeah, I've got enough for the rest of the year. Just enough. No, I've not bought anything. I see people shaking.
One thing hasn't really come across as a problem this year, I don't think, for us, has it? None of us have really got, I really want to buy that. There was the jokes about it at the start of the year, but nothing's really kind of like, I should go and buy that, or I'm really missing out on it, and that's that 12 months. I think it's worked really, really nicely with playing the stuff together. Things we found that, like, kind of sharing the historic stuff we found covered in dust at the back of the collection and stuff has worked out really well. I mean, I've got them dusted off all my 360 games now. I found that I've got like Project Gotham and stuff like that. Zero Wing, I think it's called, or something. Top-down shooter and stuff. I didn't realize I had all these games in a cupboard, which is kind of cool. I'm enjoying finding those again. So, yeah, is that it then? Is that it? We can literally just say, no, we're fine, because I'm quite proud of that if we are.
Okay, yeah. I've not been interested in picking up any. I was getting weak earlier on, but now I've gotten over it. So I'm good. I'm good at the moment. Yeah.
Have you, Paul, all good?
Yeah, all good.
You're nodding, but I just want to double check.
No, I've not managed to buy anything. I mean, the Switch 2, I would have been absolutely tempted to buy if I didn't buy and sell things in any case. So that would have been a big one for me. I do like the newer hardware, but after I had to test it before I resell it. After testing it, I can't say that I'm, must have one in my collection right now. I'll wait, buy a nice cheap one at some point or other and just go from there, really. But yeah, it's surprising. The amount of games that are coming out, like Death Stranding 2, I thought would have been absolutely, chomping at the bit to play that, but I've got Death Stranding 1 still to play. So many games in our catalogues probably that'll compensate for anything that's coming out this year that I can see at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm finding it. I wouldn't say I'm finding it easy, but one thing I'm really finding that I do appreciate is that, like, for example, Lies of P, which has probably been out for like a year or so, when I was doing some reading up about how to do this or how to do that, the different things that people have been debating that have been implemented into the game to improve the game over, say, that since release date, since like last year, makes me really appreciate actually holding out and waiting maybe a year or so before actually playing some of these big games, because then you're playing the complete game or more of a complete game rather than a usually it's something wrong with most games upon release that they have to improve upon that causes an uproar. So I'm really appreciating going back in the catalogue and playing a game as it's probably was intended to be played. I mean, look at Cyberpunk. I mean, I must admit I played that, I think, probably maybe about a year after release. And I did finish it. But that's just gone on from strength to strength. Same with Witcher 3. It's just been improved and improved and improved upon over the years. So there's a lot to be said for not playing the latest game straight away.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. There's just so much stuff. I mean, this year's been. You never say it was easy, because you like buying computer games, you like buying computer games. It's simple as that. But I found it more kind of sitting down and looking and going, oh wow, I've got that, and then thinking to myself, do I have time to play it? Has been more of the kind of the frustrating thing. You sit and look online at the playtime, which I've done quite a lot, probably more than I ever have this year, and you're like, oh damn, that's about 12 hours worth. Not sure I can really do that. Have I got time? I'll complete 3 games in that time, sort of thing. If I chose different stuff, so it's more around the pressure's been around choosing wisely, so you can actually get through things. I think to make it a worthwhile year rather than wondering what else to add.
Yeah, the barrier to re-entry as well can be quite tough. You know, that just getting back into the game. If you haven't played that game for potentially 2 or 3 years, that barrier to re-entry can be quite tough.
Yeah, that's a definite. Couldn't agree more on that. I found a few like it. I can't remember which ones they were now, but there's a few I've gone back to and stood there and just thought, I'm just going to destroy my save, just wipe it, and then at some point I'll go back to it. This is a lost cause. It'll take me 4 of the 7 hours I've put into it to work out what the chuff I'm doing and just get frustrated with it. So, no, couldn't agree more. I'm just trying to think. We said about this earlier on. I've got my, not buckling, but my 2 things that I got bought those games for my birthday by friends. I genuinely have too much of a large conscience, I think, and I'm sort of thinking, oh, are those now my gift and my Joker I've expelled? Or if I don't touch them till next year and I just pretend they aren't there, which might be kind of Harbour Wreckfest, but I'll do it if I need to, then does that not count? Yeah, honestly, please, members of the group, listeners, please do give your feedback on that. I may even put a post up about it. The other thing I've got is that SNES that someone just dumped on my doorstep as a thank you. That's gone into a cupboard.
It's funny how you got all this stuff given to you.
I know. Not playing Unirally for 6 months is going to suck because that game's amazing and that'll be a real childhood blast from the past. But I just say I might, if I get some money for Christmas, I'll wait out until the 2nd of January and there's a little Pokemon and gaming shop you sell like SNES cartridges and stuff. So I may go and get a second controller and treat myself to a game just after New Year, but we'll see. But I intend on being a good boy and not destroying everything I've worked hard for 7 months. Next up, I think we're getting towards the end of our agenda today, which is good. Questions-wise, I know we had one question this month, which was from, was it Stuart Ramage, is that right? Did he send that one in? Yeah. Which was, which game purchase do you regret the most that you've ever bought? Which I think, well, it's been hard for me, but do you want to start us on this, Paul? You said you were thinking about this and you think you got it earlier on.
Absolutely, yeah. It did take me a little bit to think about it, but this has lived with me pretty much even since my actual, getting like my first computer, because this was actually some extra like pre-Christmas money that was given to me to go pick some games to go with the gift I knew that was coming, which was the ZX Spectrum at the time. And I can remember perusing all the games, and I knew already that Ultimate Player the game were the best games to go for. So I bought Attic Attack, which I knew was going to be a classic, Lunar Jetman, Cookie, and one other. I kind of got like 4 Ultimate Player the games, and there was one other game that was absolutely staring at me on the shelf, and it was the biggest box as well. They'd done the correct thing. They put it in the biggest box. It had like this horror sort of theme on the front, and it was a game called The Crypt. And it was £4.99, so it wasn't like they didn't really do budget games back then. So it was £4.99. This is back in 1983. And I thought, oh, wow, this is going to be brilliant. The box was like a video cassette type box, you know, the old video rental boxes. It was quite big, and it was the same kind of sort of thing to it. So that's what lured me in any case. So anyway, after playing Attic Attack, which was a classic and still is a classic by today, which is Ultimate Player the game as well, better know them as Rare these days, I put that Crypt on, man. Crypt. They misspelt it. They got the first letter right. It were more crap than Crypt. I mean, the way that it actually moved, it was so slow and sluggish. There was no graphics on the back of the box, which wasn't unusual back in the day, but it was absolutely terrible. And I looked it up as well on eBay when we were discussing this question a little bit early before we started, and it's still selling for £4.99 on eBay. So if you want to spend £4.99 again, I mean, even with the rate of inflation, it's probably closer to like £1.99. But yeah, don't buy it. It's terrible. That was my biggest ever gaming regret. I mean, I didn't regret so much after that because a lot of the games on the Spectrum was all, playground piracy, really. So most of my games I didn't actually buy at the time. What was yours, Brian?
So I was just going to say, I'm looking at a screenshot of it from on Spectrum Computing, and
Yeah,
it's
it
diabolical.
just totally lured you in. If you take a look on eBay, it was the biggest box on the shelf. And whoever in their marketing team says, look, all the rest are in cassette boxes. Let's put this biggest box on the shelf. It's going to lure them in. They were spot on, man. That was some cheat. That were a real mousetrap. That was the cheese, was that?
What, for me?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned this. Have I mentioned this? There's a game called I'm in Love with Your Dead Grandmother.
People have said that to me before, but that's a different story.
It is $3.99 in current money. It is. Oh, it's pure shit. It is really, really pure shit. It is real live action video with on a fake background that's hand drawn by crayon. It looks like hand drawn by crayon. It is really bad. I've just looked up a review of it, and the review says, "Look, I'm not going to lie to you. This game is hot garbage, but I played it, so now you have to hear about it." And it is really, really fucking bad. It's not even funny. The theme tune is quite good. I will say that. The song is quite good. The rest of the game is pure shit. It's about a guy who goes on a date with a girl, goes back to her house, and then sees a picture of her grandmother, falls in love with the grandmother, then finds out she's dead, and it doesn't stop his ardor for the grandmother. So yeah, it is really. It's shite. Please avoid. Don't ever buy it. And not only that, they've now brought out more versions of the game. There's the game I bought. They've got an online shooter version of it, which I don't know how you play. I'm not going to pick it up to find out. But yeah, just avoid these games.
An online shooter.
That's the worst game.
Brilliant.
Yeah, they have. I don't know how he's done it. He's got I'm in Love with Your Dead Grandmother, the one I bought, and I'm in Love with Your Dead Grandmother online battle. And I don't know. I think there's 3 versions of the game now he's brought out. So he's obviously looking for more cash and fleecing this. But yeah, don't give him money. Don't give this guy money. It's crap. It's really, really bad. So yeah, that's the game I hate the most and the game I regret the most spending money on. It is really bad. So it's on PlayStation. I don't know if it's on any other format.
Let's hope not, right? To be honest.
Let's hope not. Yeah, it's really. I think it was a student project, and it sounds, it plays like that. It's dreadful. Yeah, no, I don't even want to speak about it.
You're genuinely kind of upset about discussing this, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'll pass it on to you, Ben. How about you?
I'm trying to think long and hard about this as well. There was a platformer that looked amazing. I remember buying the Sega Saturn magazine for months, and them advertising this game called Johnny Bazooka Tone. It was kind of like, it looked like the character was like an Elvis haircut, and it was like stylized, almost rendered graphics. And it was meant to be like this next big thing in platformers. And I went and I spent like 35 quid of my hard-earned kind of part-time work money on it I think it was Game in Swindon or something. And it was genuinely the biggest pile of shite of platforming game I've ever played in my entire life. It had a good intro, the music was really good, and then it was just horrific from that point onwards. And it's the only game I think I can remember that I've taken back and lied and said the CD jumped. There wasn't really a returns policy in those days. What's wrong with it? I want to give it back. Why? It's utter crap. I don't know. That's not really a returns thing, to be honest. But it was kind of like, oh yeah, it's just like it doesn't play properly. I don't know if it's my console or what. But there you go. CD jumps. It's just like, can I just have my money back, please? Do you want another version? Nah, not really. It's just like. I was so upset that I smashed my controller up when it didn't work. That'll do.
That's yeah.
But there was a crap. It was terrible. It's one of those things that was marketed for ages, and I don't think the studio ever made another game after it either. I hope they didn't anyway. They really shouldn't have been allowed. but it just sucked. And it was disappointing because it was one of those real like hype games at the time that was coming out, and then it was just terrible. So yeah, that's an easy one for me. That, and then I did also think that I bought Test Drive 4 years ago for the PlayStation 1, and that had the worst handling model on earth. It was like the cars handled like wet bars of soap. That's the only other thing I can remember as being not as bad. I mean, that pales in significance to Johnny Bazooka Tone. But yeah, of all the weird titles in the universe, you've got for that one about someone's dead grandmother, and I've got a game called Johnny Bazooka Tone, who the man looks like Elvis. So I mean, we've gone down the rare game point of view there, to be honest.
Johnny Bazooka. I'm just pulling that up now.
I'm sorry in advance.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a mess. Right, so there's a second piece you said off that as well, Brian, which was kind of, what's the big game you can't stand most of all? Or does that feed back to the Crypt and the grandmother game? Do they fall back into that position or not?
Me is that grandmother game. I could not. It's the biggest game I regret paying, because I paid $3.99 for it, and the game I hate the most. I know. It's really, really bad. But yeah. Oh wow, Johnny Bazooka Town. That's a good game.
If I had one request from the whole of this podcast, it was you stop using your internet bandwidth to look for that game, please.
Stop looking.
Someone somewhere is getting royalties for looking at that page.
That's it.
Cool. Right. Okay. Well, that was enlightening, I think, and I now want to go and look at what that game about the grandmother's actually all about. I've got to try and find a video on it, and it's all your fault. But
no, it's not. I actually broadcast the game on Twitch, and I thought I was talking over it, but apparently I told PlayStation not to broadcast my voice. So I spoke for the entire game, and then went back and listened, and it's just the game playing on its own without no commentary playthrough. So yeah, that's don't watch it. It's really bad.
The temptation to actually buy you a copy of the Crypt for Christmas now, Paul, and send it to you.
No.
Pretty spectacular.
That's terrible game. Terrible.
Just get a video set of it on fire in his garden or something instead.
Yeah.
Right, as for my list, I think after questions, the only thing that leaves for us is our now updated, new and improved wheel for the month of what games we're going to play. So you've both finished Child of Light now. I am very, very close to the end of it, so we've managed to knock that one on the head, which is pretty cool. And we looked at it earlier on, and the ones we've got left on there are literally Sackboy's Big Adventure and Overcooked. I've already mentioned that Overcooked, I don't want to ruin anyone's relationship or make people hate themselves for playing it. Even though it's amazing, it will make you frustrated. So we had a chat, looked through. Well, Paul managed to find the backlog list of PlayStation Plus free games, which is quite an impressive list to go through, and look at what we all had from the years we've had the subscriptions. And we've come up and added to the list Infamous, Second Son, Trek to Yomi, Minecraft Dungeons, and Detroit Becoming Human. So we're now back up to 6 titles to choose from. So I will go ahead now and let's see if my webcam wants to play. It'll probably be blurred now, knowing my luck. And spin TV and see what it comes back with. Infamous Second Son.
Oh, very good.
On there,
Oh, very good.
So the one we've all spoke about and waxed lyrical about, we've managed to get, which is pretty cool. Excellent stuff. So we can have a stab at that. I will now remove that from the list so we don't get it next month. Excellent. So that's our game for the month. I may end up a bit further behind than you guys on this. I'm going on holiday, and you're off in September, so you've got a bit of time to play yet, you said, isn't it, Paul? So you're all good. Oh, cool. Okay, so by the time we get that, we'll hopefully squeeze another podcast in potentially before you go or when you come back, otherwise, and then get the updates on that one as well.
Excellent.
That is it for us today. That's got through the everything we wanted to go through. Another podcast, which I hope everyone's enjoyed. Have you got your list of your call-outs today, Brian, or not? I've just caught you off guard again. Yeah. Every single time.
Okay, socials. Email yearofshame@gmail.com. Twitter, if you're still there, @yearofshame. Blue Sky, @yearofshame.bsky.social. Just search Year of Shame as one word. Twitch, Year of Shame. Facebook, Year of Shame as a group. And we're on YouTube at MLGYOS because somebody got tired of typing Year of Shame. Okay, talk to you later.
So, other than that, that's what will be August in the books. So thank you very much for everybody listening. And thanks as always, guys, for your time and having a good chat again. It's been awesome. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoons.
Yep, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon. I have...
Oh, yeah, you've got like minutes left, right?
9:30. Gotta go have dinner. Yeah, but end of the day here. And then maybe another hour of gaming. We'll see.
Good plan. Good stuff. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the chat.
Take care. Speak to you soon.
All the best.
Okay.
See you later.
See you.
Bye.
Wanna dip your dingle?